Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Monday night GarageCast here on Podium 2, live on Twitch. I'm joined by Garage Guy Chase. I'm Dale Tanhart, and more than privileged to welcome DW, the man himself, Darrell Waltrip, on the show. This is Monday Night GarageCast, and DW, look, I just got to know how you doing. It's great to see you, and how do you feel about the Monday Night Racing Championship that we're all about to watch?
Well, I'm excited about the race. It should be pretty good. It's the final, so that should make it interesting. And what have I been doing? Not a damn thing. Just kind of kick back. I've been retired for about 3 years now, and I'm kind of growing into that role. So, I do. What I love is somebody calls, say, "You want to do that?" I say, "No, I don't." Well, thank you. We thought we just asked. So, I have the privilege these days of being able to say no if I want to, and I'm glad of that.
We're just thankful that you said yes to us. That's a
Yeah,
big
well,
deal.
I can't believe you said, yes to us out of all things. That's insane, right?
Well,
Like,
well, this could be one and done.
Oh, he's getting it,
that's a
but
good point. Yeah, hey.
we'll hold on to that. We're hoping it's not. We'll
No,
get to hang out at some point in person, but we just got done with the national anthem. Did you enjoy that voice of the angel, the Wizard of Winston, right there, DW?
well, it's not
Or
as
did
good.
you have him muted?
It's not as good as I. It's not as good as last night, but it's not. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. You could might ought to work on it a little bit, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah,
Are
I
you?
gotta get him to a vocal coach.
Have you ever sang the national anthem before, DW? Or do you have a secret good voice that we hadn't heard before?
I thought I was could sing at one time. We did that country music album called NASCAR Goes Country, and me and Pearson and Petty and Cale and Bobby and Buddy, we all thought we could sing, and we all were pretty good singers. After about a fifth of Jack Daniels, we'd get to a church, get to where we could hit some pretty high notes. But that and I've sung on TV a few times just because somebody asked me to. But I no, I'm not a singer. I'm not good at all. Terry Bradshaw, he's one of my best friends, and he was on the Grand Ole Opry, and he was doing an Eagles song, "Peaceful Easy Feeling," and he asked me to join him, and I said, "You got to be kidding! You out of your mind? I don't. Why would I do that?" And so I can't. I was on stage introducing Terry, and then he told me to come over, and I hit a few notes with him, and I walked off stage. But I'm not a singer. I used to be okay, but not anymore. I lost it. I just lost it.
That's huge. I didn't know that. So. See, now I'm like over here like scrolling the internet trying to find this because like this is definitely something that needs to be pulled from the archives now. So I'm gonna look that up and find it, and when I do, I'm definitely gonna play that at some point this year, DW.
Well, I
But
did. I did a song called "I Can Help." It's a Billy Swan song, and
I could help.
I can help. If you got a
Okay.
problem, I don't care what it is, you need a hand, I can assure you this, I can help. But anyway, Richard did King of the Road, and that made Kale mad. Kale was like, Kale was king of the road, and he didn't like Richard being king of the road. Buddy Baker may have been the best singer of the group. He did a song called Butter Beans,
Really?
just a bowl of butter beans, and it was
Wow.
hilarious. It was hilarious. And
That's
Bobby
No,
awesome.
did a song called "Watch Out for the Matador" because he was driving the Matador at the time. We had a great time. We did at Bradley's Barn here in Nashville. Jerry Bradley and his dad and Richard and all. We just had a great time. It was a lot of fun. We were there for 3 days, and they made an album out of it. Pretty good, pretty nice.
That is
see, we need to
amazing.
do that, Dale. We need to make an album
Nah,
now. I feel like
no,
we got to carry the legacy on.
no,
Yeah,
we gotta leave. We gotta leave it. We gotta leave it to our DW and all the old school guys. I want to go find that and
but
listen
we
to
had
all that.
Jordanaires. The Jordanaires were our backup singers, and I don't know. Spider Rich was on guitar. Charlie McCoy was on harmonica. We had really all the good pickers and singers in Nashville at the time. And buddy, trust me, we needed good backup singers the way we sang. But it was a lot of fun. We had a great time doing it. And Bill Donahoe was the promoter of the Nashville Fairgrounds. Jimmy was his son. And Jimmy had this grandiose idea that we were going to make a lot of money, a lot of money. And so we made this album, and he had 25,000 copies of it, and he was selling them out of the trunk of his car. Well, his dad called me and he said, come down, I want to talk to you. Went down to this racetrack. Bill Donahoe, he's a businessman, you know. He said, I will give you $10,000 for your share of the record. I said, no. I don't want to do that. I think he's going to make a lot more than that. So anyway, I never made $10, let alone $10,000. He ended up, I think Jimmy passed away, and all the albums, 25,000 of them, were still in his basement. So it wasn't a big hit.
Dang. Yeah, we
Wow.
come back. So it's a bad investment there. Should have took the 10K, but you live and you learn. Feel like you did okay for yourself.
Well, I was really bad about buying high and selling low. That's just the way I was, you know. I wasn't
not big in the cryptocurrency these days.
Oh, I don't even know anything about it. Hey, no, I don't know anything about that. But I do like racing. I love racing. That's the only thing I knew. The only thing I could ever do was race. I knew how to drive a car, and that was it.
I was gonna say, well, you were a great announcer too. Great announcer as well.
One of the best. I think we're going through the lineup now. So speaking of the racing tonight, obviously Monday Night Racing, it's a championship race. It's a big deal. Virtual Homestead, Miami. So we're out here tonight. So I know we were talking a little bit earlier before the stream, DW. You're talking about Corey Heim is one guy that you knew for sure out of this race. Do you think he has what it takes? He's in the running here.
I think he does. Those other guys, with Chase, hey, I don't know. Those other guys, I don't know that much about them. You know more about them than I do. You watch them every week. I don't watch them every week, but I do know Corey. I think he's got a pretty good chance. What do you think?
Corey on and off the track for sure. So I know him from the Truck Series. And then I think we have Adam Cabot raced his way into MNR by another league. Chase Cabry, he is a NASCAR wife, which I have here in my notes. Haley Deegan's boyfriend racing here.
Yeah, in the group chat, in our little group, they like to refer to him as the NASCAR wife sometimes.
I got you.
But how would Bobby like Bobby Allison or like somebody like Tim Richmond would have taken that back in the day? Do you think they would have taken that well being called a NASCAR wife?
No. I know Bobby wouldn't. You know what? Bobby's initials were BA, bad attitude, so he would not have been happy about that at all. And Tim Richmond, I think Tim Richmond would have been okay. He didn't care. There was one thing
out there in the wind
about Tim Richmond, I can tell you. He was a heck of a good race car driver, and he didn't give a damn what you said about him, as long as you were talking about him. That's all he cared. That's all he cared.
You have any good random Tim Richmond stories? We got a lot of people in our community, which we are the Garage Guys. We do NASCAR content. Anybody that doesn't know us, we'll get carried away with conversations, so the introduction will have to wait. But we got a lot of Tim Richmond fans. And
you want me to tell you a Tim Richmond story now? Or you want to wait?
Oh no, let's wait because I want to talk about a certain photo. I want to talk about a certain photo that I picked up in Martinsville for $50 that I've already been offered like $3,000 for. Wow. You might know it was a 1987 photo. You may know about
giving somebody a finger. Is that what it was?
Maybe a third finger. We won't go too deep. But we'll definitely brush on the topic. But yeah, I can't wait to talk about those days with you. That's the big thing for me. I love the Winston Cup days. But yeah, so continuing on here, Corey Heim, and then we have Leighton Sabile. Believe I'm pronouncing that correct. Dale,
that is correct.
Would you care to back me up?
Yeah,
Dale is kind of like an English teacher for me because I don't always pronounce things correctly. Yeah, so he always kind of comes behind scrubs that. Make sure I know what I'm talking about.
Larry McReynolds was with me. I wouldn't know who the hell I was talking about. And Larry said, "You're talking about so-and-so." Yeah, that's him, that guy. So,
Dale's my Larry.
Yeah.
Don't let the mullet fool you. I do have a college degree. I do have a bachelor's degree.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really? And what?
Business
don't
administration.
Don't let the no hair fool you. I don't.
Business administration with an emphasis in accounting.
Wow.
Yeah, and I really don't even do anything with that nowadays. Isn't that crazy?
Wow. No, you're
DW. I'm from a small town north of New Orleans. I went to college for about 2 years, and then I dropped out and I got into car sales.
Well, I went to college for 6 months. I went one semester in Owensboro, Kentucky Wesleyan College.
I want to hear some of that. Did you have any good stories from your college days? We can get into those too.
I didn't care. Look, What's a race car driver going to do with a college degree?
You have a point. They didn't have race teams at college.
Not a darn thing. So my father-in-law, Mr. Rader, made me go to college. He said, "You got to go to college, or you're never going to amount to anything." I said, "Okay, I'll go." So I went for 6 months, and um, it didn't work. The books were too heavy, the lectures were too long, and
Did y'all have book bags?
I had a book bag, yeah. But I'd go to school in the day and work on my race car all night. So I was a racer. I was a true blue racer. That's what I did. That's what I do. That's
I
what I
love
did.
it. And it starts early. You know it when you get into that car. See, I never got the luxury. I'm from Louisiana, so there wasn't a lot of it going around, other than like late models and things like that. I kind of dipped in. I got a couple buddies that do some late model racing around here in the Mississippi area. So he's it's something that I used to want to do back in the day, like go-kart. We'd go to the go-kart track, and that was about as much as I got out of it all. So growing up where you grew up, I feel like in North Carolina, like did you grow up in North Carolina? I may be getting that wrong. Where'd you grow up?
Kentucky, Owensboro, Kentucky, on the Ohio River. Owensboro's on one side of the river. Evansville, Indiana, Henderson, that area, western part of the state. Got married in '69 and moved down here to Franklin, Tennessee. Been here ever since. Love Franklin. It's my home. 53 years we've lived here. But no, I grew up in Owensboro, Kentucky. You know who's from Owensboro, Kentucky?
Tell me more.
G.C. Spencer. You probably don't know who G.C. Spencer is, but you know who else is from Owensboro, Kentucky?
Did you say Jimmy Spencer?
No, not Jimmy Spencer. G.C. Spencer.
D.C. Spencer. Okay.
I don't know who Jimmy Spencer's from. Some junkyard up in Kentucky.
Yeah, he's up north somewhere.
But the Clemens brothers, Lewis and Crawford, they were from Owensboro. A lot of people that work in the garage today are from Owensboro. My brother and the Green boys, both Greens, David and Jeff, both are from Owensboro. Owensboro was pretty. We had two racetracks. We raced on Friday night and Sunday night, and it was a big racing thing.
That's crazy, man. See, I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have known like that without having to go look it up, you know. And I'm usually kind of guy like to fill out a situation. But you really like in the Cup Series. How many NASCAR drivers in the Cup Series are from Kentucky? Like throughout like your generation of racing. Were you the only one? Were you holding it down?
You know, me and my brother Michael. And by the way, he's my brother, not my son.
Shout out to Mikey. We love Mikey.
Yeah, we're 15 years difference in our age, and he's down here and I'm up here. But the Green boys were from Owensboro. They were in Cup at one time or another. Jeremy Mayfield is from Owensboro. That's all I can think of off the top of my head. But there were several drivers that were in Cup at one time that were all from Owensboro.
Wow. You talked about Nashville, the fairgrounds, the rumblings of the fairgrounds potentially coming back. Nashville for NASCAR. What do you think about that? That was a track you were very successful at. Yeah, I want to know what your thoughts are if we get to see the fairgrounds come back again.
I won one of the biggest races I ever won there was a USAC race, 1972. I beat all the USAC guys, Gordon John Cock, and all of them were here for that race. I beat them all, lapped them in my Mercury. That was a big win for me, and I won 55 features at the fairgrounds. I won two championships, ASA race. I won about everything you can win at that track one time or another. I quit racing there in the 90s. I didn't go back there very often. Bobby Hamilton was a great friend of mine. He helped me a lot with my car. I love the fairgrounds. It's still my favorite racetrack. And Marcus Smith and Jerry Caldwell are working real hard to get that thing, where they can remodel it and get it back up to speed. And I think they will. It's just a matter of time. And I think, we'll see Cup racing back there one day.
We can't wait for that to happen. We've been to the new one, but Nashville Super Speedway over the past couple of years, and it's been a great time. We hope to get back to the fairgrounds. But real quick, we're going to have plenty of time for some story time here with Darrell Waltrip. Want to look at the race here. 200 laps, 4 sets of tires, 0 fast repairs, 3 green white checkered attempts. Yeah. So it's going to be Going to be a fun race. Going to crown a Monday Night Racing champion tonight. DW, as we hit the green flag here, you know what we need, right? We need that best boogity, boogity, boogity here when we hit the green flag. Are you ready?
I was born ready. I stay ready. I'm ready all the time. Anytime they got a race and they're going to drop a green flag, DW is ready.
Let's go.
Pace car, you'll get a pace car coming off turn into 3, coming into turn 4. You're going to get the green flag here. Hold him, hold him, hold him. He's going to dive on the road. 1, 2, 3. Here, come on, man. Speed up.
Here we go.
Come on. Get out of my way. I got
Scared a little bit. Come on.
All right, here we go. Ready? Step. Boogity. Let's go racing, boys.
Let's go.
Yes.
We are green for the Monday Night Racing Championship. And dude, that's electricity, pure electricity from DW live on Podium 2 right there.
Well, hey, you know what?
You know, DW, I gotta say, I never thought in my 30 years of life that I would be sitting on here getting to hear the boogity 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 while I'm a part of this broadcast with you right now. It's an amazing moment in time.
Well,
Had to stroke the ego.
You're going to see right now the 51 of Corey Hive is going to pull off
Anyway,
the
yeah.
racetrack. He's going to have to get down to pit
Boogity
road
boogity
speed,
boogity is kind of
and
funny.
he didn't
That's it's in a song.
He didn't?
I don't know if you know
No,
Ray
black
Stevens or not.
flag,
He's
car-
a music guy,
Unless-
and he had a song
unless
called "The
that's the
Street."
drive-through.
And then the song in the song, there's a line that says, "Here he comes, boogity boogity. There he goes, boogity boogity." Well, I was looking at the I listened to the radio, XM radio, one Sunday morning before the race. My boss, the worst start of a race is when they say, "And the green flag is in the air." I said, "You gotta be kidding me!" Have you?
Throw that in the trash.
That just tells you that guy or whoever's doing that, they never been in a race car in their life. The most nervous. Your hands are sweating. Your heart's pounding, and you're coming around to get the green flag, and some guy says, "And the green flag is in the air." I said, "You got to be kidding me!" So I tell my boss, I said, "There's got to be a better way. We got to start these races a little more with more excitement." He said, "Well, you're a smart guy. Think of something." So Sunday morning at Darlington, I'm listening to the radio, and Ray Stevens comes on. And he has a song called "The Streak." He says, "Here he comes, boogity boogity." Here he goes, boogity. I said, "That's it. I got it." So
What year was this?
2004, I think, maybe somewhere along in there, early on in my TV career. So I go to the booth, and Larry Mike Joy. I said, "Hey, I got the start of the race." They said, "You got the start of the race?" I said, "Let me have the start of the race." So I said, "Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys." And they both they turned around and looked at me and said, "Have you lost your mind? What are you doing?" I said, "Well, that's the way we're going to start this race, and we'll see how it goes." Well, I'll be darned if it didn't stick. And I'm in New York. I go into New York in a restaurant in New York, and I don't know anybody. And some guy in the back, "Hey, DW, give us a boogity, boogity, boogity. How about it?" And I said, "Okay." So it stuck, and it's the dumbest thing I ever did, but it turned out all right.
Change the world,
Man.
Change the world of racing right there with that though, DW. I mean, that's what we knew because like we were both kids. Like Dale and I have a 5-year age difference, so we were both kids, obviously. And like I can just remember like on the Sundays when we were home with my dad had blue collar parents. They worked a lot of Sundays, so I didn't get to watch race with my parents as much, stuff like that. I was always gone, staying with somebody else. But I do remember Talladega Nights, watching that in the theaters.
I was
was
in
a
that
big deal. Did you like that movie? Were you a fan of that movie?
I love that movie. Will Ferrell, are you kidding?
Greatest.
Doesn't it? It gets. I feel like it gets too much hate because it's a comedy, right? Like
There he
we
is.
need that, you know.
No,
I
I
feel like
love
we
it.
need that.
I watched it. I bet I watched it 50 times. My wife will not watch it. She says it's sacrilegious, and I'm not going to watch it. But when he prays,
Sacrilegious.
when he prays the
The
sweet
baby
baby,
Jesus thing, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
I mean, it's got some. Well, it's just it's a fun movie. It's fun. I like
Yeah,
it.
that's a good way to put it.
You got
Hey,
to expand your mind a little bit with it, you know.
Be open-minded.
Have fun. I love that. Yeah, that movie. Actually, talking about that. So I mean, just the persona, the electricity, the energy. Like Ricky Bobby obviously possesses a lot of that. There have been some rumors out there, though, DW, that character may have been inspired by you. How do you feel? Have you heard that before? Anyone ever told you that?
No, I
All
never
right,
was.
so
I never was that goofy. I mean, I was goofy, but I wasn't that goofy.
Well,
I
not
wonder who it
100%.
was.
I don't know.
It's got to
I
be a
don't,
mix, right?
I don't know. But I love Will
I just
Ferrell. I think he's a funny guy. And what was it? What was that guy that was his
John C. Riley,
John C. Riley, Cal Naughton Jr.
not but the other guy that's
Oh, Sacha
Jean
Baron
Gerard,
Cohen.
yeah,
Jean Gerard.
Dude, how was Sasha? Did you get to meet Sacha Baron Cohen? No, he is a great dude. Borat, Bruno. He plays a lot of different characters. I love Sacha
you
Baron.
know him, right?
I don't know him personally, but I do know who you're speaking of. Yeah, I've watched all his films. Like his, I was a big movie child. Obviously, I grew up on the film. I was a product of the television. You know, TV raised me. So I watched a lot of Borat, a lot of Bruno. Ali G was another character he did. That was his first character he ever did, where he interviewed Donald Trump, and then Trump realized he was a like a fake, and he kicked him out. But Ali G was like he was this white rapper from Britain, and that was where he kind of got on the scene with everything. So I thought he was hilarious. So to see
Yeah,
him play John Gerard, yeah,
a lot of rated R, a lot of rated R type of stuff, right? But he
yeah.
was hilarious, especially in Talladega Nights. Darrell, we're looking right now at the race. We actually have a good battle for the lead. Sabile, who is right now leading the championship is neck and neck with our guy Anthony Alfredo for the lead right now. You know Anthony
So
Alfredo, right? He's
Yeah.
been in the Xfinity Series, and something happened to Corey Heim. Corey
yeah,
Heim is,
in the beginning of the race, I saw him going down pit road.
yeah. What?
So that's why I
we
wanted
witnessed
to know if you noticed anything or you saw anything, because like me and DW were talking about it, we were like on the Corey train,
Yeah,
on the Corey
yeah.
Haim train.
Is he
I
how
think,
they're racing already? Surely he's not.
Derailed.
He's last place. He's
Did he have a penalty?
P40 right now. I don't know what happened.
The
Well,
certain penalty or something?
What I like about this, get a reset button.
I'm not sure.
I'm fine.
It's something else. Well, at least we know we got the good racing going on, watching it, and just the broadcast itself. I think we got Erica Stepp on here right now. There's so much to love with it, because like especially in the off season when you don't have racing, like that's where iRacing gets big, right, Dale? So for me myself, more of a you know PS2 arcade race gamer. Darrell is like our premier iRacer at Garage Guys. He's actually racing a few of these races with Monday Night Racing.
Oh
So
boy.
he's got his wheel right there. The
Equipment
wheel
there.
actually has feedback too. So it's like very state of the art stuff.
Yeah, that was that was the hardest thing for me. The equipment I had, I don't think was not. It's been about 5 years ago since I really tried it, but they've improved the equipment so much. But I never had couldn't get a feel. You know, it's just all in. I know it's hands and eyes and feet. You know, it's the things that we use, but you got to use your butt. That's the first thing when you're driving a race car. The first thing you realize is in your butt. You feel the car doing something down there that tells up here to do something for what's going on out there. So, and I never got that feeling, but maybe who's this cat we're watching right here? Because he
This
did
is Chase Cabry. This
Look
is
at him.
Chase Cabry right here.
So this is NASCAR wife Chase Cabry.
Yeah, he's all over it. Where's he
He's
running?
in. Let's see.
P4. Yep, second out of the championship 4 guys so far. And
I like his car.
hey, on the
He's got a good
topic,
paint scheme.
DW, on the topic of iRacing and how it's grown, it's amazing how it's grown. I never thought we'd ever see anything like this as a kid, right? Like as a kid, we talk about the arcade NASCAR video games that we grew up playing. Just the experience you get on iRacing, being able to play with other people online all at the same time, live, is ridiculous. And the level of detail that goes into how they do the racetracks, how they scan everything and make it seem so realistic. It really, in my experience, got way bigger during 2020 when the COVID pandemic happened.
Mhm.
I want to know what you thought when Fox Sports actually had all the drivers do a live iRacing event. And I think it actually was at Homestead when the
Yeah.
COVID pandemic happened. Wasn't that crazy?
When I was first got involved in iRacing a little bit, I wasn't in it very long because I didn't like it that much, and I wasn't comfortable, but you could change your setup. I mean, you could put your setup in the car. You could do all kind of things with the car that made the car more tailor made to you. I like the way the cars are now. I mean, you don't have anything to do with the car. You just get in it and drive it. And that way, your car is the same as everybody else's. And I think I like that a lot. So I'm not I wasn't good. I just wasn't good at iRacing. I turn the wheel too much. I'd be in the infield. I turn it back and in the wall. I just never was that good at it. And when you're not good at something, you just don't deal with it very long. You get away from it. Leave me alone. I don't want that anymore.
Sure. Yeah.
And
I
look,
think I know what we should do. We should get you one of those. You talk about it's in your butt, right? So that's news to me. I never knew about it.
Yeah.
We should get you one of those massage seats for your chair that will massage your butt as you're driving. You know what I'm talking about? The ones that you put on the chair, you plug it in, it'll massage your back and your butt, and you feel it. Get you a VR headset.
no. I'd be like trying to listen. I'd be like trying to listen to a radio while you're driving the race car. You don't do that. No, it's all
right.
feel. So your butt, two cheeks down there, they talk to the rest of your body. And like if that car starts to get a little bit loose, you don't feel it up here, you feel it down there. And so you have to have your hands and your eyes and your feet and everything is connected to your butt. And so the first place you feel something going wrong is in your butt. And then you have to react to it. And the guy that can react to it the best is the guy that has the best results.
Can
So
I use this
That's
in like
interesting.
everyday
It makes
traffic?
sense.
I don't know if I guess.
If you want to.
Trying to think on this right now because I've never heard that in my life. Like that is news to me.
Well,
right
and
there.
I think it does make sense.
But look, you have how many trained professionals have you talked to?
I never
that's
asked
very
them. I
important.
never asked them like where they feel the car. I guess the most.
I bet you asked.
Never got
but
that detailed.
Here's the thing: you take any NASCAR driver, any Cup driver, and a lot of them have a hard time. Kyle Busch is pretty good because he can drive about anything. But most guys that get in these cars, a computer game like this, they can't do it. It just doesn't work for them. They don't have that. They don't have that. They don't have this. They don't have the sound. They don't have the feel. They just don't have everything they need to be as good as they possibly can be. So you won't find very many. How many Cup drivers are in this race?
0.
That's right.
Yeah, none. We have Xfinity drivers. Yeah. We have a few, but I get what you're saying because it's like two different products. It's like learning how to play a video game, hand-eye coordination almost,
Yeah.
and then actually going to do. That's why you see guys like what was it, Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, some of the all-time best Cup drivers that we have right now in the league in the series. They had kind of a tough time with it, and I can see where you're coming from.
You know, one guy that's good is Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin's a good iRacer.
But listen, have you ever seen his equipment?
Oh,
Yeah, he's got like a gyroscope.
He's got the best. He's got the whole seat and everything. He's got all of it.
He paid $40,000 for that setup.
Was that a good investment, DW?
No, I wouldn't do that.
Well, you know one thing though. Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's probably not the best investment ever.
But that's why he's good.
He's got a lot that can help replicate, give the closest simulation of a real race car, like the closest, which is not like you said, like. You're not going to feel the weight of everything. You're not going to have that feel of wheeling a 3,500-pound race car. But that's why Denny's good because he has probably the closest thing to that, right? Paying that much money, he should.
You know what? Happened to him once? So he thought his equipment blew up. His daughter turned it off.
Yeah,
I remember that.
I think that was in that Fox
Yeah,
race.
he didn't know it was turned off until he thought something was right. Oh, my equipment blew up.
She had the remote. She had the remote in the living room or something like that. Or she went in there. Like I remember her running. They had like the video footage he had done on his phone where she was like running out of the room. Like she had that face. You know how kids get that face?
Oh yeah.
Good time. That's my son. My son loves 18 wheelers. And the other day he was sitting over there and we bought him like a Smokey and the Bandit, like a really nice 18 wheeler rig, Snowman's rig. We bought it for him. And it's very rare to find 7-year-old children that love that because I wasn't a big fan. I never even watched that movie until he was born, which is kind of sad, but also at the same time, just goes to show you this child definitely in another life somewhere he was probably a truck driver.
Yeah.
But he literally just broke his snowman truck on the car, and he just left it there, kind of tucked under the tire, and walked in the house and was like, "Hey, Dad, hey, how you doing?" And I went to go back up, and wait, and then I found out. So I
Mhm.
got to experience that face
Mhm.
in person.
Yeah. What was that guy's? What was the cop's name?
I
Jackie
think,
Gleason. What
yeah,
did Jack?
Jackie Gleason was the guy that played him. I can't remember what his. They call him Smokey, I guess.
I don't know. Some bitch. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh,
something like
yeah.
that.
It was a wild film, man. I watched that.
It just flew out of my mind. I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
No, it's
No, it's
okay.
good.
No, we love it. We
Good.
love it. By the
We
way,
can talk about film all day. I'm
real
down.
quick, I've thank you to A Fuller 03 in the chat. Corey had a pit road penalty to start the race. I don't know the
Okay,
specifics behind that, but thank you to the
What
chat for.
was he wrong?
that made sense.
And
We
anybody,
have a
if you have any questions for DW,
Yeah, just
feel free to type it in the chat and type your name, and we'll read it on the stream. If you got a question for Darrell Waltrip, who's very privileged here to have him on the Monday night Garage Cast here live on Podium 2. Already had some fun, and we are on lap 27 of a 200 lap event here. Anthony Alfredo is the leader right now in the championship
Gavin.
hunt. Chase Cavery is third, and he's leading the championship for us. So you know how this goes. You know, it's similar about iRacing in real life, DW. Anything can happen. It is way too early to go ahead and crown a champion right now, and it will probably get crazy at some point, you
Oh
know?
yeah. I mean, we're not even halfway yet. So that's the way I like when I raced. I never worried about the first. Just to say, we'll go to Martinsville, for instance, 500 laps. What do you worry about the first 300 for? All you want to do is stay on the lead lap. It's that last 200 that matters. That's when everybody gets tired. That's when your car handles the worst. That's when you got to man up and get up on the wheel and get after it. And that was what I was really good at. I was younger than most of the guys I competed against, so I was in better shape when they were in. And so when they'd get tired and give out and didn't want to fight with their car no more, here I'd come and smoke them off and win the race. So that was kind of how I operated. I didn't worry about the first half of the race. Sometimes first 2/3 of the race. It's just that last third I went after. That's when
What
I
do you think made you so you've won 11 or 12 times at Martinsville? One of your best tracks. You're also really good at North Wilkesboro and the fairgrounds like we talked about.
look, when I started racing, they called me a short track punk because I mean that's what I grew up. I grew up in Salem, Indiana. I won all kind of races: Salem, Nashville, Huntsville, Birmingham, all those little short tracks that we raced on every week. I would here was my weekly show, weekly deal. I'd leave here on Thursday afternoon, go to Huntsville, Alabama, quarter mile, race there on Thursday night. Leave there and go to Birmingham, race there on Friday night. Leave Birmingham, come back to Nashville, race Nashville Saturday night, and on Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, I'd be in Owensboro racing on the quarter mile at Whitesville. So that's what I did for I don't know 3 or 4 years, and so when I the short tracks they just came natural to me. I knew what I wanted in the car. I knew how the car was supposed to feel, and I had a knack for running the short tracks. So about I don't know, probably half of my wins are probably most of them have been on short tracks. So I love short tracks. They're my favorite. You know why I like short tracks? Because that's where the driver makes a difference. You know, it doesn't matter how good a car you have if you can't drive it. And it doesn't matter how bad a car you have if you're a good driver. And so that's what I always liked about short tracks. You can take a mediocre car, put a great driver in it, and he's going to win. Or you can take a
I
mediocre
like that.
car, put a bad driver in, and he's going to run last. So it was just a. Look. I started racing go karts when I was 12, so I raced go karts for 4 years, and I got that feel for asphalt racing and what it what it needed to feel like. And Jake Elder was my crew chief, and he used to always say, once a driver gets that feel, once he knows what a car's supposed to feel like, you can't beat him. And he was right because once I got that feel in my car, I was good to go.
Is that like the number one thing you could say to attribute to your success on short tracks? Like what were the tangibles that separated you from everybody other than, as you kind of said, repetition, starting early, and that feel? Because you were
Well,
just a beast back then at the short tracks.
you had to be aggressive. I mean, but being aggressive and being reckless is two totally different things. Dale Earnhardt was reckless. I mean, Dale Earnhardt run over you and knock you in a fence. And I don't even know if he meant to or not, but he did. That's the way he did a lot. If you see a picture of Dale's car, you probably see a lot of bent up fenders and somebody in front of him spinning out. But so you have to be aggressive, but you have to know when to be aggressive. So you want to race people. You want to be fair. You want them to look in the mirror and say, "Oh no, it's him again." And so but you got to not overdo it. You don't want to be so aggressive that you're wrecking people all the time. But you have to be aggressive enough to get by them and then run your own race. So I just had a knack for the short tracks. I loved them, and I knew I kind of learned. I learned a lot about my cars from Bobby Allison. I didn't know a lot about cars when I started, and Bobby Allison down in Hueytown, Alabama, taught me a lot about how to set the car up, what the car should feel like, what the front end should set like. And so Bobby taught me a lot about the cars, and I took that information that he gave me, the feel that I had, and I parlayed that into a lot of wins.
That's huge, man. It's almost like you had your own form of meditation in the car. Like you were able to really kind of like zone in and find because like I'm a big believer in the mental game, in the mental strategy of racing. And I feel like you can be as aggressive, you can, be as reckless, you can be as confident, whatever you want to call it. But like if you're bringing stuff from home or from anywhere else into that car just like you would, they say leave your problems at the door. If you're not able to turn that off and focus in, like you're not going to be able to perform the way you should. And I feel like that could be a factor for a lot of guys nowadays, the mental thing.
Well, Dale Earnhardt was overconfident. I mean, Dale Earnhardt drove with all the confidence in the world. He thought he was the best guy that ever sat behind the wheel of a race car. And a lot of Sundays he was, but there were a lot of Sundays when he wasn't too. The other guy that I loved to death, if he was sitting beside me, I'd put my arm around and hug him to death, is Mark Martin. Mark was like, Mark didn't, Mark won a lot of races, but I think he talked himself out of winning a lot of races too by not having the right attitude. So you've got to have, attitude's important. If you're a basketball player, you might miss 4 shots, but then you're going to hit 4 in a row. So that's just how you have to have that confidence in yourself, in your ability, and then you got to perform. You got to be able to perform. And if you don't, I don't care how good you are, I don't care how much ability you got or who you are. If you don't put numbers on the board, people aren't going to. They don't want to talk about it. They don't talk. They don't talk to you.
I
I
think a
think
lot of that's
numbers are
with
important.
Earnhardt.
It was. Well, the thing that helped Dale the most, it wasn't Dale, it was Richard Childress. See, Richard he wanted to win championships because he knew they paid the most. So Dale didn't win a lot of races, but he won a lot of championships, won 7. So I was just the opposite. I was smart enough to think about championships. I wanted to win every week. And so I approached racing differently than Dale did.
That's
But it
that
wasn't
Ricky
really all
Bobby in
Dale.
you.
That's what it was. But Dale had Childress, who was controlling the show, running the show, and giving him a car that he can win championships in, and he did. He won 7 of them.
It's crazy looking back on that and thinking about that now and hearing that from your perspective is amazing because it really, like I said, you can only, especially from Dale and I, we can only have I guess our own perception of it all from the outside looking in. You being a part of that entire era of racing and just to have kind of a brief update real quick, looking at some of these things. I got the screen pulled up here. Who we got? Dale, you have that big reminder. Who we got leading right now currently?
Still
Just to
got
update
Alfredo.
everybody.
Still
Alfredo,
Anthony
yeah.
Alfredo.
Hold
But
it down for the underground.
as we said, still
Love
early.
that.
Now, Sabile was up front early. I need to find out what happened to Sabile because he's all the way back in 18th now. And Adam Cabot has passed Chase Cabry for the championship lead right here. So it's starting to get mixed up. And, one thing that's I think is really cool about iRacing is the ability, like you got to have an ability to save tires. And I think for me personally, that is the hardest thing. Sabile is actually on pit road right now, so that's why he was dropping back. But a lot of times on these I races, similar to real life, is the guy that can save their tires the best will come through and win if you have long green flag runs. So I'm sure we'll find out in this race who can save the best and be there at the end.
Yeah, but a lot of guys fight with their car. You see a lot of guys, and if you got an in-car camera, you see a guy there, and he's fighting with that car all the time. Well, he's wearing his tires out, and he's not going to last. He won't have anything left for the end of the race. So you got to have a car. You got to be smooth. You got to go down that corner. You got to ease that thing in the corner, ease her in the corner, and take care of the tires so that you have something for the end of the day. So I was pretty good at that too.
That reminds me of Kyle Larson at Pocono a couple years back when I lost my entire house mortgage payment. That was a great
Last
time.
lap. Free.
Yeah, fantastic day.
Yeah.
Hey,
I should have called you. If I'd have known you, DW, I could have called you
You know
that day. I
what?
could have said, "Help me out, DW. What do I need to do?"
You know what I liked about Kyle Larson? So I didn't know Kyle Larson. I'd heard of him. Only thing I knew about him, he spun out some guy on that back straightaway racetrack when they had a track back there to win a race. And so I wasn't real high on him when I first met him. And but I always remember what he told his dad. He's 4 years old. He's 4 years old, and he's watching a race on TV, and he tells his dad he wants to start in the back. And his dad says, "Why do you want to start in the back?" He said, "Why do you want to start in the back for?" He said, "So I can pass them all." So that's been his mentality. And let me tell you, he's going to run Indy I think next year, not this year, but next year.
That's
And
it. Yeah.
it wouldn't surprise me if he didn't win it, because he's got that. He just has he loves racing. He eats and breathes and lives racing all the time. And I think he can drive it in. He drives those sprint cars, which are animals to drive. He gets in anything he gets in, he's a contender. And that's rare. It's like AJ Foyt or Mario Andretti or even Tony Stewart. I mean, those guys, most of the time they get in anything, they're competitive and they can win. So I think Kyle Larson, nothing he does surprises me. He's quite a talent.
Yeah, and
Let's
I think
talk about that.
it's also important that he's not running. They didn't announce that he was running this year's Indy 500. They announced a year and a half ahead of time that they're running next year, right? So now I think that, and I want to get your thoughts on this. I think that gives the team that he's racing for, which is Arrow McLaren, a lot more time to prepare and give him a great race car, right? Don't you think that year and a half early is important for his performance?
I think it is, and I tell you, those cars are. We've seen Kurt Busch go up there and run and do really well. We've seen Tony run both races, the 500 in Indy, and we go down to Charlotte and race that night. We saw Kurt do it. We've seen a number of guys that have tried to do that, but I like the plan. And to see, this is the thing about Hendrick. Rick Hendrick is like he thinks ahead. He doesn't think about what's going to happen today. He thinks about what's going to happen tomorrow. And Rick's really smart about putting deals together. They're going to take a car to the 24 Hours of Le Mans, and they're going to race an Indy car. But he wants the driver to have time to get acclimated to that car, get comfortable in that car, build a team around him so that he has people he believes in, people believe in him, and then go out and see what kind of results you can get. See, Rick, I love Rick. He's one of my best friends. And Rick never, ever, ever put a deal together. He put the people, he would get the people, then he would get the deal. Because, if you don't have the right people, it don't matter how good a deal you got, it ain't going to work. So Rick would get the right people, get the right driver, get the right team, get the right people, and then he put a deal together. And that's the way Rick's done his whole life. Smart man.
That's the way to do it too. That's how you make friends in your business. I mean, they always say don't mix friends. Yeah, you find a way to make sure that everybody's on the same page at all times.
Well, yes and no. See, you can have someone working for you that you don't necessarily like, but they're really talented, and so you have to be careful surrounding yourself with all your friends, because all your friends will do is tell you how good you are. But when you have people that are objective,
friends with the people you're working with,
sure, it helps if you can do that. But you just have to be careful putting a lot of people in place that all they're going to do is tell you how good you are. You need people around you and people that work for you that are going to tell you you need to work harder, you need to try harder, you need to do more, and that's when you get best results.
When did that come for you in your
I think.
career?
When I drove for Junior Johnson, Junior Johnson was by far and away the smartest guy I ever drove for, and he taught me a lot. He made me a champion. I won 47 races driving his cars. And Junior he was just, when it came, there were a lot of things he didn't know, but he knew about racing. And when he told you something, you better take it to the bank because it was usually true.
I gotta show you.
We were in the shop. Well, we were in the shop working on the car, me and Hammond, because Hammond is like I am. He wanted to try things. And so we're in the shop, and we got the back of the car cut off. And we're getting ready to go to Bristol. And so we had noticed that Mike Laughlin's cars, we had a banjo car, Mike Laughlin's cars, the track bar that holds the rear end in place was at an angle. It's hooked over here, and it went way back over here. And so we thought, that's got to be doing something. We don't know what it's doing, but it's got to be doing something. So we cut ours all loose and we fixed it. We had it all about ready to sew up and finish up today. And Junior comes in and he says, boy, what the hell y'all doing? We said, well, we've been noticing that Laughlin's cars, they run the track bar then way back over here. And we thought we would try that. And he said, you know why they do that? I said, no, if we did, we might not do it. But why? And he said, because they run a quick change. And a quick change is a lot, sticks out. So you have to run the track bar at an angle to clear the quick change. Now cut that damn thing back up and put it back like it was and leave it alone. So Junior didn't like you messing with them race cars. He wanted to keep that car stock, like him and Banjo built it. Banjo Matthews.
That's the way. What I was wanting to show you, so we were in Martinsville last year and ran into a friend of mine that does a lot of the vintage selling. And this is, according to him, and I trust this guy, but this hat right here, this hat may look pretty familiar to you. This is the Winston Million Daytona, Talladega, Charlotte, Darlington.
Yeah.
This came from Junior Johnson's house. This was one of the hats that was in a tub at his house. I got a hold of this. Riverside, the last ride, had that hat with the Chevy bow tie on it. And one other one that I got, can't really remember, but that's the closest memorabilia I have. I wear the piss out of this hat. I love this hat.
Great hat. I had a shot at it.
What was it?
I had a shot at it in '89. I won Daytona. I won Charlotte. And I won. What did they have? Daytona, Charlotte, and Darlington.
It's on the hat.
Talladega.
So I won 3 of the 4. So we go to Darlington for the Southern 500. And that's $1 million. I never won $1 million in my life. The most I'd ever won is 300,000. That was the week I won the All-Star race on Saturday and the Cup race on Sunday in '85. So that's the most I'd ever won is 300,000. It's like, damn, $1 million. You got to be kidding me. But anyway, we were terrible that day. We wrecked. I think we backed in the fence, tore the car up. But Bill won it first time out. $1 million bill. Bill Elliott, he got that $1 million. And then we had a shot at it. Davey had a shot at it once, and we kept him from winning that. But those were the days, my friend.
Man, it's crazy.
I'll be right back.
That. Yeah, absolutely. We're going to catch up on the race a little bit here. We'll catch up a little bit. This is
it's crazy because I'm all listening, dude. I'm just all ears when you talk to someone like Darrell Waltrip, man. I hope everybody's been enjoying this so far. It is surreal. It is surreal that he's here with us during Monday Night Racing. The championship race, green flag pit stops have just cycled through. Adam Cabot is leading the championship for while Presley Sora, Chase, I don't know if you knew this. So Skybox NASCAR betting guy on Twitter. So anybody that is unfamiliar with us, we specialize in NASCAR betting. And then everything else comes, we're very open-minded and we do anything and everything that helps galvanize a NASCAR motorsports fan base. But NASCAR betting is like the center of what we do. Skybox NASCAR is like the sponsor on the Presley Sora machine, and I hope we get a look at it.
Right.
And let's see, that's a 17. That's Adam right there. Hopefully, we get a look at it. It's a good looking hot rod, dude. It looks
See,
good.
that's what I wanted to do. I wish we had pictures. I wanted like a list of photos. I wanted to paint. I wanted to rate paint schemes.
Hey,
I wanted to
we'll
look
get
through
there,
here.
dude. We got plenty of time. We got plenty of time.
Yeah.
But
What lap are we on here?
we're on lap
I'm
59. 59. And
I
now
had
Presley's.
YouTube pulled up.
Okay, here we go. It might show Sora right here when he pits. He's pitting right now. But hey, we got to make it a mission next Monday Night Racing season, which was just announced, by the way, on Twitter. At MON Night Racing. We got to get a Garage Guys car, dude. We got to get a Garage Guys car.
Oh yeah.
On
Who are we
on
gonna
one
get?
of these
Like,
guys.
I'm looking through this list
I
right
don't know,
here. So I
man.
mean, a couple of guys I can already see right now. Obviously,
Bro, I don't
Ryan
care.
Vargas
Anybody
is
can
here.
drive my car. Hell, I'm in. I've performed in one Monday Night Racing event. I think I finished like 12th at Daytona. Maybe
You
we
would
can,
probably be the first choice.
Yeah, maybe. But we also want to consider sponsoring somebody good. So maybe a
Yeah.
Presley Sora or a.
What about Gary Sexton?
Yeah, Gary Sexton or Ryan Vargas. Matt's pretty good. Matt Stallneck's pretty good. We're looking at this. Didn't mention GridRival. Shout out to GridRival for their partnership and all this. I think it's actually called the GridRival Monday Night Racing Championship, Season 6. So GridRival's got, dude, GridRival. I don't know if you saw that. GridRival has that cool like fantasy matchup for like a season-long NASCAR matchup thing where you can win $20,000. It's on the screen right now, 100K in prizes. So GridRival is doing a lot of cool things.
You like some fantasy NASCAR, DW? You ever play fantasy football? Any fantasy sports?
No.
He's in the real life.
When I was 76 years old, that's past Sunday, and
happy late birthday.
Happy late birthday.
Technology just kind of passed. I'll never forget when I owned my own team. Probably was my downfall, some of it. Guy came in one day carrying a briefcase, and I said, I don't know who he is, but get him out of here, because we don't need anybody with a briefcase. Because we just didn't do things that way. You know, he had a computer, had a briefcase.
You want a good old boy to come up in the shop.
Yeah, show us what we're doing all these things wrong. That's we just don't need that. So just send him on down the road. And now they live and die by computers and simulation and all those things. But yeah, I was old school, and it probably cost me in the end by being old school, not being open-minded and willing to change.
It's better than having regret, though, right?
It's changed so fast, right? It changed so quick over the past 20 years. And I mean, iRacing is a testament to that. I would have never, ever thought we'd see something like this when I was a kid. Hell, when I was a teenager, I would have never thought we'd see something like this. So, I mean, technology, it's insane how quick it has just developed into all these. I mean, you could literally apply it to anything, like you were talking about with NASCAR. I mean, you could apply it with NFL, MLB, Formula One. I mean, any sport, it has completely reshaped everything, and it's happened in the blink of an eye, right? So, we don't fall.
A good example is they don't even practice anymore. I mean, with the in Cup, I mean, they go and they line the cars up and they qualify. You know why? Because they have simulation. So they have the cars. I always remember when I was driving for Dale a little bit in '98, and
Pennzoil.
And this kid comes, and the kid comes to me and he says, "Here's what we need to put in the car for a setup." I said, "You got to be out of your mind. That won't work. Who told you that?" He said, I pulled it up on the computer." I said, "Well, the computer doesn't know what the hell it's talking about then." But anyway, we argued about, and we said, "All right, well, you put it in there, we'll try it." Well, the car was about a second faster than it had been with what I was doing. And so it was right on the edge, right on the cutting edge of simulation and all the different setups that they would come up with on the computer and shaker machines and all the tools they have today to work with. They being the crew and the crew chief and the whole crowd know that when they go to the racetrack, that car is about as good as it's going to be. You might tweak it a little bit. It might be a little air pressure, might be a little wedge, might be a little of this, but you're not going to change springs, you're not going to change much of anything because they know when they leave the shop that they have the car right. And so that's why they can go and they don't have to practice and they don't have to make a lot of changes because the car's right when they get there. I always thought about, well, the weather might change a little bit, but those things, those things are just, you have to adjust to those a little bit. But I'll never forget. We went to a racetrack. Felipe Lopez, I think, was my crew chief, and he said, "This car is perfect. Don't screw it up." And that's before I went on the track. I said, "How do you know it's perfect?" Because we run it on a computer, we own a simulation, we did all these things. This car is perfect, so don't you, me, screw it up. And did I like it? Not very much, but I learned to live with it.
That's
It's
crazy.
almost like we're living there in a
I didn't
simulation now.
realize, I didn't, as a racing fan, I didn't realize that was going on that, or I say that early, but I would have been 1 or 2 years old around that time. I didn't realize it was that important in the late 90s as what you just said. I mean, that's pretty crazy to know that it was valuable around that time.
Well, I think right along 95, if you look back at the records, right along 95, Jack Roush had 6 teams. Hendrick had 4 teams. Everybody had multiple teams, and they were hiring all the good people, and they were buying all the latest and greatest equipment, whether it was from Indy cars, Formula One, whatever those teams were using, whatever those guys were using, that's what they bought into Cup. And that was right in 95, and then we learned how to use that equipment as time went by. So today they live and die by it. If it doesn't work on the computer, if it doesn't work on the setup machine, it won't work on the racetrack. That's a given fact.
Future's crazy, man. I kind of hate it sometimes.
What
No,
do
I
you
mean it's one of those things. Like I was thinking about this the other night actually. It's like, okay, we go from, just using our hands, using our minds, creating something, putting a product out there to letting a computer make decisions for us. At what point do we give up doing the things that you started doing and letting a computer do it for you? And it's a really weird question. There's a really weird gray area there
Yeah,
almost because like it's almost like now human we're not doing a whole much of anything other than just kind of assembling something and we're
yeah.
letting a computer tell us what to do. It's crazy.
Well, that's the way that's the car they're racing right now, the Cup car. That's the way it is. It's already everything is built. You just put it together. They have specs on everything, and and you try to refine it as best you can within the rules. But I was a reverse engineer. I would say when I get this car like I want it, you tell me what I did. You tell me what I did to get it, if that was good or not, because I
Yeah.
already did thing in reverse. They said, well, here's what I don't want to do that. Here's what I'm going to do, and then I go and do it and whatever, and I get a car like I want it. So tell me what I do. How do I get it like that?
Right. Nobody ever wants to have to be the one to break the car down to prove something at the end of a race. I'll tell you that. But when you're doing it for the love of trying to understand something, that's a whole different story. Because you get that sense of pride in knowing that like you did something different and it came from you yourself
Oh
putting
yeah.
it out there. So I feel that. Like I totally understand that right there. And
Well, it's just back in the day, it was hands on. And so that's why smart guys. I mean, you were always trying to hire somebody who was smarter than everybody else that had different ideas and a different way of approaching things. But it was still hands on. You didn't have machines that you typed in setups and typed in this and the tires staggering and blah, blah, blah. You had somebody that could think outside the box. And so those were the people that were most valuable to you. But they don't have them anymore. They have all engineers now. I mean, most race teams probably got 50 engineers that work for them. And all they do is sit on
I
the
want to
computer.
I want to go back to, we had mentioned a little bit, we talked a little bit about broadcasting earlier, especially with the Boogity Boogity story, which is amazing. But I do want to ask, in all your years of commentating on Fox, do you have a favorite race that you called? Obviously, there's been so many classics, but is there one particular race that you love that just stuck out? That was, regardless of if it was just a great race, a great moment, or just your enjoyment of calling it. Like, is there a favorite race or two that you could think of in the NASCAR Fox booth?
Well, I'm not going to say it was my favorite, but it's one I'll never forget. And that was the 2001 Daytona 500 when Dale got killed. Uh,
Yeah.
that's a race I'll never forget. And my brother won. It was the most emotional day I'd ever had in my life. And my best friend Dale gets killed. My brother wins the race. Do I go to Victory Lane? Do I go to the hospital? I really didn't know what to do. And so that was the very first race that we ever did. And then one of I guess my favorite race was Kurt Busch and Ricky
Ricky
Craven.
Craven.
And that was a wild race, craziest finish I ever saw. And I think Mike Joyce said, "Have you ever?" And I said, "No, I've never." And it's just that was a fun race to do. And there are just some others that probably fall in the same category. One race at Talladega when 8 cars came across the finish line. And Jimmy Johnson won about an inch. It's just in the 18, 19 years that I did TV, it seemed like every week, almost every week, there was something that would happen that would make that race better than the race before. So I love I love doing TV. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I knew what I was doing. I was knowledgeable, and so that was my favorite role. I liked it. I think better than I actually did driving. When I first started driving, there was
Wow.
nothing like driving a race car. At the end of my career, I was glad to get out of the car and get in the booth, and I enjoyed that a lot. And Mike was a lot of fun, Joy, and Larry was a lot of fun. And then things went haywire. Things kind of went south when, and it wasn't nobody's fault. It's just the way it just kind of you got to change. Jeff Gordon comes in, and he and I mean, I'd watched Jeff race his whole career, uh, and so I knew Jeff as a driver, not as a TV commentator or as a friend. We became friends, or we became better friends. Clint Boyer, just different people came along that it just didn't feel right. Me, Mike, and Larry, we covered for each other. What I didn't know, Larry did. What Larry didn't know, I did. What Larry and I didn't know, Mike knew. So we kind of always were covering for each other, and that was
Have
a
each
lot of
other's
fun.
backs.
And when that
I
went
Taking
always
care
away,
of each other.
Yeah,
when
and that was our childhood, but I just also I feel like no matter what, I always feel like that was the best combo was you three. You guys were electric and insightful and professional and fun. It was just like the best combination of everything. So we're very appreciative as race fans watching you guys for all those years. And now I want to know what was a track it was always the first half of the season or up until about June where Fox is on and still is that way, but what was like the track that you could not wait to get to? Like as a broadcaster, was there a track that you look forward to more than any other racetrack on you guys' schedule?
Well, I guess first of all, you have to think about Daytona as being the Super Bowl, and so that's the biggest race we have. We can have 5 other races, and they won't have the rating that the Daytona 500 does. So it was kind of fun doing those early Daytona 500s. Um, but like I told you, I loved the short tracks. I loved Bristol. I loved Richmond. I loved Martinsville. That was my bread and butter. That I knew I knew what the guys were dealing with. Left foot braking, right foot braking. The whole 9 yards. And so those were my favorite races. But if I had to pick one race that I like to do the most year in and year out, it'd be the Coke 600. And I won that race 5 times. I almost won it 6. And I love that race. It's a 600-mile race, long race, 4 hours. I love Charlotte Motor Speedway. The first race I ever ran there, I finished 6th or 7th in my Mercury with Jake. And so I love the Coke 600. That was probably, I didn't do one race. I said,
It cut out a little bit right there at the end. I did want to say that the Coke 600 was incredible this past year that we watched. One of my favorite ones out there. But you talk about Martinsville, DW. You don't have no idea what I would have given to have had you in the booth when Ross Chastain pulled the move that he pulled this past year. I've got to get your thoughts on that and just what did you think? What did you say when you saw that after the fact?
well, he had to plan that. It wasn't like it just happened. So he had to think about that. If you look at him going down the back straightaway, it's not like he turns in the corner and goes up and gets against the wall. he's against that wall from the time he gets down to the turn all the way through the turn. So he's either going to be a hero or zero. If that right front tire digs into one of those barriers and he gets stuck over there somewhere, he's going to be a zero. That would be the dumbest thing that anybody ever saw. But it didn't work out that way. And I think the guy that was most surprised was Denny Hamlin because he drove past Denny Hamlin at the start finish line. I've never seen anything like that, and I doubt we'll probably never see anything like that again because NASCAR made a rule that says you can't do that. But that was amazing to me, and I don't know how he ever thought about doing it. It was pretty amazing. Then I was watching when he did it, and it just was a heck of a move. What do you think? What was your outlook? What were you thinking about?
So that was the one race. That was the day of my best friend's bachelor party, and I actually did not watch that race. I had to catch a replay, and so that was a hell of a race to miss, right?
I was freaking out. I couldn't believe it because you thought that the championship four, it was all said and done, right? Like there was no way Ross could have passed 7 cars to get to the spot he needed to transfer, and then I mean it didn't even look realistic, right? Like when you saw the replay, it didn't even look real because he was at such a high rate of speed, right? And the ultimate irony is knocking out Denny Hamlin after their continuous feud throughout 2022. So it was outside of the move itself being so spectacular, it was a great narrative story heading into the championship and after everything that had transpired between Ross and Denny.
I've never seen a car go through that corner that fast.
Unbelievable.
I mean, you drive into Martinsville, you almost stop in the middle of the corner. You're down to about 45 miles an hour in the middle of the corner, and then you accelerate off. He never slowed down. He must have been doing 120 miles an hour all the way around the corner, and just digging. He was digging. He set a new record.
It's arcade style, all the way.
Yeah, I think that was a track record that day.
Yeah, it was a track record lap. Yeah, and people were trying to do it in iRacing thereafter. They were trying to replicate it on here, and you really couldn't even do it. You really couldn't do it as well as he did it.
2002.
Now, I will. Yeah, no, I will. And I accidentally go in, hit the wall, but I don't let off. I just bam, 1480. He said, 1480. How did you do that? So I said, I don't know, but let me try it again. So I went in, I just go up, hit the wall, shot down the corner, 1480 again. So then he started doing it, and he went from 60 to 1480. But anyway, so there are some tracks where you might be able to get away with that, but not very many.
Yeah, you got to get a little extra cushion there. You got to get a little extra push. So I love that. What were you saying about Martinsville? Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, you're good. I feel like Martinsville is for sure. I mean, we saw it there, obviously, but I'm trying to think. Like, what other tracks do you think it could work on, DW? Because everybody says maybe Richmond. People were talking about maybe Phoenix. We've seen guys try it at Darlington with Sheldon Creed did it, and the year before Kyle Larson did it. So I want your thoughts on a track that you think it might be able to work on.
Well, you got to, if the track's real wide, I don't think it'll work at Richmond because the track's too wide. So you got a car down low, and you got this guy out here real. Even though he'd be going faster, I think that's too big a radius. So I think it would probably. I don't think it would work at Richmond. Bristol, obviously, it would work at Bristol if you were brave enough to do it. But I tell you, can you imagine? Just think about this. You're going to run that corner wide open. You're a race car driver. You've been in cars before. You got to go in there. You got to coast that thing in the corner, back off the gas, and let it settle. Excuse me. He ran that corner wide open. So
he was in a make or break situation. I can understand it there.
If he doesn't make it, well, they give him A for effort. He tried. He was giving it all he had, and it didn't work out. But he did. He made it. The harder that around the outside of the track that even if you ran it wide open, I don't think it would pan out. So tight little racetrack like Martinsville, like Bristol. I'm not sure about Richmond. I think it would work at Richmond. It might. It just remain to be seen. Wilkesboro might work there.
Yeah.
Nashville might work there, but it'd have to be a short track. I think a short track was where they would work best.
And plus, the start finish line at like Darlington, Richmond might be too far away to be able to carry enough momentum off the corner, also. So,
Yeah, I think you're right. I can't in my mind, because I would have never tried that at Martinsville, but I can see how it worked at Martinsville because that's a tight turn. It's like a big turn. So I can see how that worked at Martinsville, but other racetracks, I'm not so sure that would be the way to go. Oh, I don't.
No, I feel where you're coming from. I mean, anybody that tries to do anything like this now is going to have, what is it, a 7-second penalty? Is that correct? 7
yeah,
seconds off the time?
I just know it's a time penalty. So,
Yeah,
we'll never see it. I think it's pretty safe to say we won't see it ever
And that's
again, if not
across the
for a really
board.
long time, right? So,
but
Yeah.
even after that race, Kyle Larson and Denny and a lot of guys were saying that shouldn't be legal. I mean, it wasn't like a week later or they thought about it. They as soon as the race was with, they said, "Well, that ought not be legal. You ought not be able to do that."
What do you think about that, DW? I mean, because they were hard pressed.
You know what I think about it? Start finish line. Guy gets there first. That's the guy that wins whatever, whether you either won the race or whatever position. The guy gets there first. I don't care how you do it, personally.
I feel like if you would have thought about that, I could see you back in the day doing something like that. I mean,
I would
like you
never
said,
do
you're
that.
confident.
You know what? My right front would be hung in the fence over there. My arm would be broken.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. We've come a long way with safety, so
Yeah.
that definitely have that going for them nowadays. I'll say that. But yeah, you mentioned North Wilkesboro, and I did want to bring that up. So obviously, we're going back to North Wilkesboro in real life for the All-Star race. It's going to be an incredible race. I've never personally got to watch a race at North Wilkesboro. I didn't get to make the revival. I've had a lot of friends that got to go out there. They said they had a great time. And so Dale and I are definitely looking forward to going to that track, visiting it, especially just because of the love we have for, the more the classic. It looked like we had a little bit of action going on here on the track real quick, just to interrupt little wreck here.
oh, we had a wreck. Oh,
Yeah.
the one time
we
I
had a
looked away.
little bump and grind.
Looks like we're still green. I think we're still green. Adam Cabot is the leader right now and has it looks like a big lead over Anthony Alfredo.
Yeah.
That'll happen at Homestead.
But anyway,
We're just barely to halfway.
oh yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot of racing left to go
lights
here.
are coming on. Lights are coming on. We're hitting the
That's
nighttime.
it. Beautiful scenery there in virtual Homestead. But back to North Wilkesboro. So I know you're a busy guy, obviously. We never know when we're going to see you pop up somewhere. Is North Wilkesboro a track and the All-Star race a race that you would definitely consider coming out to and seeing it with the new car and how everything is for the 75th anniversary?
I may. I haven't decided about that yet, but here's a funny thing about Wilkesboro. I'll never get the first time I went there. Jake Hilder was my crew chief, and I said, I don't understand what's going on. I go down in the first turn, and I missed the turn. I can't understand why am I missing that turn? And Jake says, you're going downhill. He said, so you go downhill on the front and uphill on the back. When you're in the garage or when you're in the car, you don't realize how much downhill that is going down in the first turn. So you were overdriving that turn all the time. And so you'd go in and push up the hill or get loose or whatever. And Jake says, you're going downhill and you need to think about that and let off about the start finish line and you'll be okay. I started doing that and I sat on pole. So I had several wins there. I love that track. But you got to remember something. That's Junior Johnson's home track. We tested there a lot. If Junior had something he wanted to try, we'd go up to the track and try it up there. If there was something on the car, engine, whatever, we went to Wilkesboro, and that's where we did a lot of testing. And so we had a lot of laps around that joint, and we had a pretty good setup.
What was your favorite? Obviously, you've won there a lot. Do you have a win that sticks out in your head that was your favorite win at North Wilkesboro? Like one that was more challenging or overcoming adversity, etc.?
Well, in '91, when I had my own team, I won there in my own car. and that was kind of exciting. But I went back there in the 92. Let's see, was it 92? No. Excuse me. um, so in 90, I didn't win a race in 90. But that race, yeah, I remember now. So that race was Wilkesboro, and Brett Bodine, they said, won that race. But everybody knew, me and everybody in the whole garage area knew that Brett Bodine was on the tail. Here he is, and here we are. He's on the tail end of the lead lap. He'd have to go all the way around the track and pass me. Excuse me. So when the race is over with and they say he won the race, which he didn't, and that's okay. I go and I find Bill France Jr. at the time. I said, Bill, you got to straighten this mess out. Everybody knows he didn't win that race. And Bill put his arm around me. He said, DW, how many races have you won? I don't know, 80 at the time or whatever. And I said, I don't know. He said, leave that boy alone. That may be the only race he ever wins. So, yeah, you might be
Just
right.
pity shaming him.
So
All the way in.
I need to.
I felt bad about complaining about it, you know.
Yeah.
We need to
it's like,
visit.
you're terrible.
Dude, we got to visit the archives on this. So was it because like a caution had come out and
Yeah.
he had explain that because I've never heard this.
So he stayed out, and he's right behind the pace car, but he's the distance of the track down. We all pitted, so we come back out. We're right behind. I don't know, there's some cars in between us and him. So we come back out. When they dropped the green flag, he would have had to go all the way around the track and past us to be the leader. But he didn't. I mean, we were right on his bumper at the end of the race, and he was that. If I pass him, he's a lap down.
Right.
But the way they scoring was, they just didn't have it that way, and couldn't win an argument with those people.
Yeah, I can only imagine the majority of, like, we could probably go on the longest roll of stories from your time racing, and I would love to maybe in the future sit down with you again, just get with you and talk about some of these moments, because man, like if there's two young guys in this sport right now that's covering this sport that want to dig into that and go through that and share that with people, with the guys that we grew up looking up to, it's us. And I would love to do that, but I know that time's kind of running a little bit low here for
Yeah,
you,
does anybody
DW. But
in the chat have any questions? Anybody watching have any questions for DW before he gets on out of here? Feel free to ask anything, and maybe DW give you a good answer like he's given us throughout this.
yeah,
Man, how long have we been here, DW? A little over an hour.
I don't know, but it's supper time. I know
Just
that.
having a
Supper
good
time.
time. Well, before you go enjoy supper, so we talked about this a little bit earlier on. This is my last question for you. This is a mystery. We've been trying to figure this out for the longest time. You don't have to
Oh, yeah.
answer if you don't want to or not.
Timmy Richmond.
But 1987, the Winston photo. I have an original copy of it. It's in my shop. I call it the International Chase Station. Obviously, Dale here is in Dale Center. That's kind of our two areas. Right now, I'm in limbo. Had to get it fixed up, but I have the photo. Sits behind me at the shop, and you're standing right there by Tim Richmond. And there's a certain tale about this photo, and there's a lot of questions people have about this image. Was it a cane that Tim Richmond had behind Neil Bonnett's head, or not? Or can you answer that?
I don't know, brother. Let me tell you, Tim Richmond was a character. I'll tell you Tim Richmond's story, and then you'll understand. So we're at Darlington for the Southern 500, and they have a golf tournament. And so Tim doesn't play golf. He doesn't know how to play golf. He just knows how to drive a race car. That's about it. So we're at the golf course over there in Darlington, and we start off, and everybody's playing normal. And first thing you know, here comes Tim Richmond driving the golf cart, running about 100 miles an hour, spinning around and acting like a fool. So he goes on down the fairway, and then a little later you see him. He comes by somebody else is driving the golf cart. He's on top of the golf cart, hanging on for dear life. And he had a fifth of Jack Daniels or something. I don't know what he had. And he'd gotten drunk, and he was just the craziest guy you ever met in your life. Had a good time, was having a ball, loving every minute of it. And that was Tim Richmond. I mean, what he was going to do. He was just one of those kind of guys. He just never knew what he was going to do.
So could be what we think it is.
It
I
could
like
be.
the I like the answer. It lets everybody keep guessing, you know.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that answer. One question from the chat. Gavin has a question for you, DW. What race cars are the best to drive leading into NASCAR? So I guess like the best race cars to drive in preparation if you want to get into NASCAR is what he's asking.
Well, it depends on your talent level. Some people have to start with a go-kart, and then you go to Millbridge and you race your modified, whatever those things are. They race those bitches. But it depends on your talent level. If you have talent and you can drive, then ARCA is a great place. They run a lot of the tracks that the Cup guys run on. Xfinity is pretty expensive, but you get some good experience there. But it depends on your talent level. If you've got talent and you can drive, you're going to move up the ladder pretty quick. If you don't, you're going to go down the ladder pretty quick. So it depends on your talent level. If you're talented, so many people ask me all the time, how do I get into racing? Have you ever driven before? No, but I want to be a race car driver. Well, you need to start somewhere on a go-kart or somewhere before you start thinking about, I want to be a race car driver. Because you may not be very good at it.
Appreciate the question, Gavin.
Kind of like what we're doing. You can be really good at what we're doing, and you can be engaging, or you can be like sit there and never say a word. So you just kind of find your talent level.
That's it.
Good answer.
How was this for you, by the way? Do we earn another time to hang out?
Anytime, buddy. I'm free. I'm good to go.
I love it.
Hey, it's
All
not
right.
one and done, huh? Love that.
We got the D-Dub blessing.
We didn't even begin to tap into half the stories I know.
I know. I see, and that's what I'm saying. Even I want to get off camera and just hang out and talk about some
guys. You guys. I mean, so you're what, 30?
I'm 30. Yeah.
30
I'm 26.
Dale's 26.
See, I was at the end of my career when you guys were born, and so you know more about my television career than you do my driving career. And you know what's funny? This happens to me a lot. A lot of people don't know I ever drove.
That's crazy.
I run into people every day that don't know I ever drove. They know I did TV, and they know I say boogity, 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 but they didn't know I ever drove.
Because I think part of that,
you were
though,
like a tennis announcer or something.
But part of that, though, is because you were such a good broadcaster, right? You developed a great legacy in the broadcasting game. I think it's partially a good thing that people recognize that, But there is certainly a generational gap too with a lot of these younger people as well.
Yep, I agree. Well, I did the Cars movies. I did all three of those. I was Darrell Waltrip in the car movies.
Yeah.
The first one was great. I loved that first one. The second one wasn't so good. Third one's okay. I've been with presidents. I've been to the White House. I've been to Australia. I've just been around a lot.
We talked about that before we went live. We were saying, DW, what have you not done? And we still haven't figured out what you haven't done yet in this hour and hour 20 minutes.
I don't think an hour and 20 minutes is going to get us anywhere near figuring out what it is that DW hadn't done. But I'm looking forward to getting more time on and off the camera to figure that out. So I'm hoping we see it in North Wilkesboro or whatever other race you might come to this year. It's a big year for NASCAR, 75th anniversary. DW, I can't thank you enough for hopping on here and giving us the vote of confidence to be on here with us, man. It means more than as two guys that have just kind of like stuck on a NASCAR and want to see the series grow and flourish and take the throne in the sports world in America, man. It's an honor.
I've been doing Cup. I was in Cup in 1972. I ran my first race. So just to put it in perspective, 1972. Been a while.
How about that?
Right.
It's been a hell of a ride, hasn't it?
It has. I can't complain.
We love that.
All right, man.
DW, what are you having for supper before you leave?
Oh yeah, one more question.
I don't know, but I can smell it.
Well, let us know. Let us know later on, man. We thank you so much for being on here, brother. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you so much, DW. Thank you so much for coming on, and we hope you have an amazing supper.
All right. Thank you. All right. Good luck, guys. See y'all later. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
See you later. Darrell Waltrip, everybody. That was amazing. And
DW.
it really cool to see DW back hanging out with us and something that is racing related and the iRacing world. And that is the Monday Night Racing Championship. I think we're over at the halfway point now. I think we're looking at around 90 laps to go. 84 laps to go now that it's come up. Adam Cabot is still the leader. David Shieldhouse second. Chase Cavery in third. And Adam Cabot, 3-second lead right now over the rest of the field. And he is in the championship four. So we got to get into
Yeah,
this race, Chase. We got to get into this
yeah.
thing.
I'm just it finally set in like what we just did for me. Cause like I think for me personally, like I have those moments where like that was big, dude.
Yeah, it's
I'm
super
sorry.
surreal, man. I feel you. I feel you. I was and everybody in the chat that engaged, we appreciate you here watching on Podium too. Appreciate questions and a lot of thank yous, a lot of misuse, it looks like. So we appreciate you guys in the chat for spreading the love towards DW. Dude, I agree with you guys. I miss him too. We talked about it, how that Fox Sports booth, which I still think is really good right now with the addition of Clint Boyer and Kevin Harvick will be in the booth next year. Talk about feeling old, man. That's
Yeah.
crazy. But I do think that was the one of the goats of broadcasting booths, and he explained it so well how well they complemented each other, and it's crazy. I feel like, and of course, a lot of people have just probably seen us for the first time here on Podium too, but because of those guys, I always grew up wanting to be a commentator. I didn't even want to be a race car driver. I wanted to be a commentator because of Mike Joy, DW, and Larry McReynolds. Like I
The
very
comedy
thankful for their
factor.
contribution. Yeah, like there's no other broadcast, not in just NASCAR, but professional sports. I feel like that has or had the best element of professionalism, comedy, and insight than those three guys. And
Yeah.
they did a great job complimenting each other through the years. And as I said, I'm excited for this season. I think the Fox booth is still good. Mike Joy's still there. Larry Mack's still giving all the insight on the race cars and everything. And now you got Clint Boyer in there and Kevin Harvick next year. Man, we
Kevin.
are old,
So
dude.
I don't know if I got to tell you this or not, but I got to meet Kevin Harvick at the Clash in
Oh
an
yeah.
elevator. Yeah. And it was hilarious because Buddy was with me, and I know a lot of you watching this, man. I know who Buddy is, but he's a giant Kevin Harvick fan. But he was speechless. He didn't say a word the whole time, but just getting to ride up and talk to him, and like we'd found out, though it was happening and kind of like where things were going with the media or whatever, just by like riding in the elevator, which was wild. So it was cool to meet, and he seems so chill. Like I always seemed like he'd be that guy that would be like he might be kind of like an asshole to me, and I was always kind of just like, I don't know if I should talk
Well,
to
I
him.
it's funny as a fan before we were in the NASCAR media stuff. I met Kevin Harvick back in 2014, and as a fan, like you go to the garage for the first time. Excuse me. You go to the garage for the first time, and you're like excited to see drivers walking through. And this was at Indianapolis, and we had the hot passes or whatever, so we had better access and we could catch the drivers walking out. But Kevin Harvick was a guy I took a picture with, and I had a great first impression for him. Like, there's certain drivers that you go back to your friends and be like, that guy was not very nice. That guy was super nice. Kevin Harvick was on my good side list on someone that was very nice to a hardcore dedicated race fan. So I'll always remember that. And that's crazy, dude. That is so crazy that now we're at this point where Kevin Harvick's about to retire. And it is also crazy that we hadn't met Kevin up until what you just said. So it's
Yeah,
wild, man. It's
we
wild how this
definitely
all
got
worked
to
out.
find some time to do something with Kevin this year for sure. But yeah, shout out to everybody that's on the stream watching, tuning in. Whether you came here for us or you came here for DW, we appreciate it. I don't have the chat pulled up, unfortunately. My mid old self, as we would call it. Like I don't feel super old. I was not the oldest person on stream for once in a long time. That was a good feeling. So shout out to that. But also, Yeah, like this race right here. I mean, it really is like just watching it. I finally just put it on a full screen. Cabot, I'm pretty sure Cabot's got a fat lip in right now, chilling with he's got the TV tray set up. I don't know if that was Cabot or if that was Cabri I was looking at. Could have been both.
Oh,
It
really?
was
I didn't.
somebody.
I haven't seen Adam
Whoever
on
that
my.
was.
I hadn't seen Adam
Whoever
on
it
my screen
was
yet,
great.
but I will say, the the NASCAR wife, whatever, Chase Cabry, fourth,
Mm-hmm.
fourth, and gaining on the leader, at least in this moment. Corey Heim is up to seventh. Remember, he had that penalty. Dude, we talk about NASCAR betting. I think Corey Heim going to win a lot of money for people in the truck series this year, driving for Tricon
Yeah.
Garage. So outside
He
of
came
iRacing,
close. He
yeah,
came close last year to doing that because I remember I tailed you on
oh,
some. So
he won.
obviously,
He won a
truck
couple
god.
races last year. Yeah, he won a couple races last year. You know, it's so
Yeah.
funny. Because obviously we're talking to Darrell Waltrip, and story time is so awesome with him, and we had a feeling it would be. I feel like we haven't given a proper introduction of ourselves, but
Yeah.
once again, we have said this is the Monday Night Garage Cast, presented by Monday Night Racing here on Post 2. We thank you all for tuning in. We are the Garage Guys. I'm Dale. That's Chase. And we are, I hate this term, but what people call us is influencers in the NASCAR
Mm-mm.
motorsports world. But it's true because we do provide influence on certain fronts, particularly in sports betting, on NASCAR and some IndyCar as well. And we have a podcast, Garage Guys NASCAR podcast, where we talk about our race experiences and sports bets that we like ahead of the weekend, the NASCAR weekend. And we dabble in some IndyCar and even a little bit of Formula One as well, but we try to have
Formula
fun with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Netflix Club. If you're a
Mhm.
Netflix subscriber, you'll love it. But
Yeah.
uh, yeah, so we do a lot of different kinds of content in the NASCAR world, and I've become super attached to iRacing. And this Monday Night Racing program is amazing. I mean, it's the most professional esport broadcast I've ever watched, and we're very very proud to be a part of this in some way, shape, or form. So having DW on is amazing, and hopefully you guys enjoy this. Be sure to drop a like on Podium 2, drop a follow to Podium 2, and keep up with the Monday Night Racing deal. And I think that it actually on the bottom of the screen, I saw that the new schedule was out for the fall. So hopefully I can't talk. I got a dry mouth, but
Sorry. You should get some
hopefully,
water. Should
hopefully
quench your
we
thirst.
will be back in the fall to do more of these streams. It's already been a blast. It's going to be tough to top what we just did, though, Chase. I mean, having DW on, that's pretty
Yeah.
crazy,
Like,
right?
how do we go bigger? Like, obviously we need to go for Larry Mack or Mike Joy next
Dude,
time.
look at Ford
Keep
Martin.
it in.
Look at our guy Ford Martin. He has a
Dude,
'07 on his a Clint Boyer '07
with the
Jack
lip
Daniels paint
in.
scheme.
A
Is
lot of
that who
these
had a lip
boys
in?
lipping. Yeah, dude, they're lipping, bro. I'm like, it makes me want to lip, dude. Makes me want to just lip it out real quick.
I like that
Ooh,
'07 car. Get a lip. From the production crew, can we confirm that Ford Martin had a lip in? Is that
dude, what a
that is
guy.
a confirmation from the production team? That was a lip. That was definitely a lip. Titans fan too. I saw him wearing a Titan.
Yeah. I want to find a
Three
man named
fingers.
Ferrari and I want them to fight. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
that's what I want to do. The Ford.
Uh,
Have you seen the memes of Ford versus Ferrari now with Leclerc and or
Leclerc. Yes.
Leclerc? Not I like to call him
Hey,
Leclerc,
get it
by the way,
right.
but I forget. People don't
You
know.
got
No, that's
you
the
got
way
to
I
be
like to call him.
sophisticated in the
Charizard
Formula One world.
Charles.
That's
Charizard
fair. I
Charles.
like that. They
But
also
yeah,
say
him and
Charles.
Verstappen.
Or no, they say Charles Leclerc.
Char.
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 Charizard.
Charles Leclerc. Here comes
Charizard.
Charles Leclerc.
I like that.
Charizard Charles just has a good ring to
I
it.
like
I don't
Charizard
know.
Charles. I think it's a good one. Hey, Gibby, thank you for your comments in the stream, by the way. Gibby says, I love that he and Dale Sr. put their differences aside and put him in the number one Pennzoil car for part of the season when Steve Park got hurt. Yeah, that's a very good point. And it's funny listening to DW talk about like his relationship with Dale Sr. Like it was not the best, right? They got into it
No.
so much that I think DW spoke for a majority of the Cup Series competition when talking about Dale Earnhardt and how rough, reckless he was on the racetrack, and there's a lot of people that didn't like him because of that. But that's what made him unique. So we appreciate that comment, Gibby, and everybody who's engaged with our DW talk. But back to this race. There's only 6. See, if I was in this race, dude, I would be like 6 laps down. Would have caused a caution.
I would have hit the wall. I've already quit. I would have
Dude,
rage
there's
quit.
16 cars. That Eagles car looks kind of sick, but pain for that guy. Who's in the 13?
Dude,
Who's that?
screw that, bro. I lost too much money on betting on the Eagles, bro.
I
I had
actually
so many prop bets on Eagles.
Dude, I went positive in the Super Bowl for the first time ever. First time I've ever gone positive betting on the Super Bowl.
I
hit
was scared to go with
tails.
the public, bro. I ain't gonna
I hit
lie. Like that
tails.
ain't like me.
I hit tails. I hit Chiefs plus 2.5, and I hit a second half bet on the Chiefs to score. No, Chiefs -3 second half was like, other than tails being the right coin toss, lock of the century was the Chiefs -3 second half.
Dang.
So yeah, but it doesn't happen often. But who is in
Yeah.
that Eagles car? We got to find out who 13 is.
Number 13
Gary
looks
Sexton.
to me.
Gary
yeah,
Sexton.
that's the guy we're talking about. So he's definitely gonna need a new paint scheme because the Eagles lost.
I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know Gary
Yeah.
was an Eagles fan. That sucks.
Yeah,
It could be worse though. You could be a Panther. You could be a
Yeah,
Panthers fan who me is what I'm talking about. Who I'm talking about.
Fan.
Well, you know what? You guys have a Super Bowl at least. Like it sucks not having a Super Bowl, and now we're just in a array of dismay when it comes to getting a quarterback. So I'd rather be the
Who
Eagles
was
right
that
now. for
quarterback
sure.
y'all had that his last name was Booty? Didn't y'all have Josh Booty?
Booty. There was a John Michael from Alabama. There was a John Parker Booty. I think. I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he was on the Panthers though.
I remember. I feel like I played with him on NFL Blitz. 2000.
Ronnie Oz. Looking
As a
at
child.
Ronnie. Oh, really? Okay, that does not fit the timeline for that. Then.
That's Ronnie. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
Ronnie
an
Osborne
idiot.
right here.
So, shout out to Ronnie. One for having the lip. Two for being from Louisiana. So I'm from Louisiana.
Does
Dale
everybody
and I
have a
both.
tip in?
Yes, including myself. Now I have a lip. So we're not gonna say dip.
Confirmed.
We have lips.
Production team said confirmed.
lips. Love it.
More confirmed.
Okay.
lips.
So I've never really, I haven't seen an updated photo of Ronnie in my life, but apparently some people that I knew from my hometown knew Ronnie. They went, their kids went to school with him, and I got introduced to him that way. Ended up meeting him online. He has his avatar is like a truck, but he's like one of the only guys out here from Louisiana that's actually from the North Shore, very close to where I'm from. So always gotta have a little bit of love for old Ronnie, no matter where we are, what we're doing. So it's good to see him running in this league, running 12th right now too. So shout out to the boy.
It just showed Adam Cabot. That's the first time I've seen him on the screen. He is still. Oh, somebody just missed pit road. Who is that? 60. He made it.
Ooh,
60. Oh, he hit the. Damn,
Wilson.
he hit the barrier.
Dang, bro. He was trying to get them trash cans. He was trying to take them out.
Reed Wilson.
Ooh.
That's something I would have done. That's something I would have.
Yeah.
Reed, come on, man. You can't be as bad as Dale Tanhart. We got to be better than
Right.
that. Minor
He's
damage.
like a raccoon on wheels trying to get to that trash can.
He's still only 2 laps down. I would be about. I'd be about where Slate is, dead last. I would be
I wonder
behind
who's
him,
driving
probably.
the Dude Wipes car.
Ooh, yeah, I wonder. That's our guy, Anthony Alfredo. Still
Tony
second.
Noodles.
Tony Noodles, yes. Which we have a interview with Anthony Alfredo last month. You can check out on Garage Guys NASCAR podcast. We'll throw that little plug in there. But I know Alfredo is. We actually in that interview talked about iRacing and how big it has grown and how important it has been for several drivers in their coming through the ranks, I guess, or getting acclimated to potentially being a full-time stock car driver. And Anthony has been at the helm of promoting iRacing for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. We love him. Great guy, and he always be repping for us when he sees us. Great pasta dealer. If you need a pasta dealer, he's your plug. Also looking here, so it really right now, I mean, anything can happen at any given moment of a race. Obviously, Dale, and for everybody watching, I haven't watched a lot of iRacing events in my life, but I've watched way more this past, in 2022 than I ever have in my life. Definitely watching you being more involved in it has pulled me into the world, because I always got to rep, for the squad and for my guy here. I gotta cheer on for Dale anytime he's behind the car. And he has some of the sexiest paint schemes known to man. The Dale Center car with the GG on the core panels. Oh God.
Yeah, shout out to Shout out to this kid, Tyler Tinsley. Really good at making paint schemes, and he always makes
Great
mine
name.
for me. Yeah, Tyler Tinsley. I wrecked him in an iRace
And then he
this
made you a
past
paint
weekend.
scheme.
Well, he may not make it for me again after what happened this past weekend.
We'll see about it. Yeah, but I definitely am looking forward to seeing you run more coming into this year. And this league itself, like we've been talking about the graphics, like Podium. I think Podium is the one that was hosting some of the first races during COVID, right?
Yeah, yep, yeah. Podium's been on here for a while. They do multiple events per week, not just like one. It's not even just this. They do all sorts of stuff. So I also read, and I want to confirm this, that this race is being broadcasted on the main iRacing channel as well. I
Check it
read.
out.
I want to see this real quick. So that's yes, it is. I'm looking at it right here too. And I
It's a
heard
beautiful
Blake
thing.
McCandless's beautiful voice for about a split second when I pulled it up. But yeah,
Old Blake.
so that's big. Monday Night Racing has been. I mean, as I said earlier, I just can't talk enough about how professional an esports broadcast is, and we'd like to do the opposite of that. We like to, provide something on the. I feel like maybe we've been a little too professional in this chase, but when you get Darrell Waltrip on it, it's kind of freezes you
You
up.
want to let
Gets
him
you out of your
talk,
element.
you know? I
Yeah, for sure.
tried. I'm a lot more sarcastic on interviews. Kind of hard to be like that with
You know,
DW in the building. He's the sarcastic guy, you know. He's the man with the confidence and the cockiness. You got to kind of let him have his place.
my
You
dad,
know?
my dad wanted me to ask him if he still hates Rusty Wallace for spinning him in the All-Star race in '89, I think. Very iconic
He would.
moment.
I could just
But
hear
I
it
was
for
like,
some
Dad, I'm,
reason.
I'm
He'd be
not gonna
like,
ask him
"Yeah, I
that.
can't stand that guy."
Nah, he would have said that. He would have said
No,
that. But no,
no,
it's
but
it's all the history stuff is awesome. I just love just sitting and listening when it's especially when it's someone like him in the booth. Um, but yeah, we gotta find a way to make this a
I
little
love
more
what you said earlier. Story
unprofessional.
time with DW. Like I feel like that could be like a TikTok series. Story time with DW. He's like reading a children's book and he just goes berserk on people. I think that would be incredible. That'd be a
Yeah,
good
just
time. Are we?
what if he just like starts a children's book and then like just 10 minutes of just talking about something else? Like I could see DW just doing that. Just
Yeah.
starts talking about something random, and then the children's book isn't even a thing anymore.
He
I could
just
definitely
throws
see
it to
that.
the side. Let me tell you how many Martinsville hot dogs I eat.
Yeah.
It's fun time. Yeah.
Oh, next time we gotta ask about what he thinks about the Martinsville hot dog. That would have been a good
Yeah.
question.
We didn't get to ask. So right now, Chase Caver just went one lap down. He pitted. He'll be cycling out. So I guess we're in the pit window right now, right?
Yeah, everybody. So I think everybody can make it on here or make it on fuel from here. I think
Chase Caver put himself in a pretty good position. So we'll see what Cabot does.
I'm gonna pull up my list right here, my data sheet that I can barely see. Yes, the fuel window is 55 to 65 laps. So clearly these guys timed it out perfectly where they all pitted as soon as you have the certainty that you'll make it on fuel. If that is 100% accurate, because I've been in some races where we talked and thought that the fuel window was one thing, and then once the race actually started going, towards the end we were like, "Uh-oh, it's not as the window's not as big as we thought it was." So they all pitted right on the edge of that 55 lap mark. So I think
Yeah.
Adam Cabot has not come down, or I could be
No,
wrong.
he hasn't. He's so focused. I just saw a picture of him or video of him. They cut to his camera. Dude, he is locked in. Like, I mean, pretty much all these guys are locked in, right? But like this guy, his eyes were piercing. Like his
Yeah,
eyes were one with the screen.
you see those guys going by him real quickly. Clearly, guys like Matt Stallneck and I didn't see who that other guy was are on fresh tires. We know here's a 66. We know he's on fresh tires after he had his fun little excursion. Now I wonder if Sabele, what is that? Sabele. That's what it is, right? Sabele.
He looks like he's in the
I
best
wonder
spot
if
right now.
he's on a different strategy than the rest of these guys because I feel like he's been kind of further back, and now he's second out of the championship four guys. Maybe he's short pitted. I'm sure there's a lot of guys that short pitted. I
Yeah,
can see,
we
yes. production team asked me if I can actually see. Yes, I can see. I can see.
See, I think that more iRacers like, because I don't know, like, obviously you're
Yeah, I
not
raced
worried
with
about
these.
looking at. Yeah,
I
you have
raced
to, right?
like 6 hours the other night in these. So
That's your poker face.
yeah. Well, I attend right now in iRacing. You can run the Daytona 500. I think on Wednesday, the NIS, and you can literally run the 500-mile event. I don't know what time it is, but I plan on racing and streaming, and you can watch me fail. Now,
Leaders pitting right
right
now.
now, we're watching the experts. Yeah, Adam Cabot, right sides are coming on. This is a big stop. This could be the money stop. We still
Yeah.
have not seen a caution in this race. I'm like 99% certain. We're all taking 4
Right.
tires. Cabot is off. Alfredo, left sides are coming on. He's going to come out about 4 seconds behind him, it looks like. So this will be interesting. Let's see how the strategy all works out with these guys.
Okay, we're right on the line. So it looks like, yeah, we'll have us a little bit of action right here.
Dude, yeah,
Chase
that motherfucker.
Oh, dude.
That dude, I almost said the F word. I don't need to
You
cuss
did.
that much.
You mean foe?
I almost said mother. Yeah. That's impressive that I stopped myself though. Let's just make that clear. This Adam
We're
Cabot,
professional.
dude. But that's the fine line. Is like, what's the highest level of unprofessionalism we can apply to this program? You know.
I think we need to have a few more conversations. I think we can go down a lot of rabbit holes. We're really good at rabbit holes, by the way. If you've ever listened to our podcast, you know all about the rabbit holes we go down. There's a parental advisory sticker on our podcast art, just like a lot of great rap albums. You know, the Marshall Mathers EP. You know,
Well, that's
Slim
an interesting
Shady. Yeah, that's a good
There's
comparison.
Chase. There's Chase running in. Oh, okay. He must. Okay, so Chase clearly has had a different strategy. Maybe he short pitted and he's got about a second and a half on Adam Cabot right now for the championship lead here. And Sabile, as I said, on a different strategy, I think, because now he's right behind Cabot, 2.5 seconds behind him. So I wonder what is going on the strategy side of things that we missed talking to GW, which was totally worth it. Let's just be honest. Like,
Yeah,
totally
it
worth
was. I mean, we're here right now. This is a championship race. I mean, this is where, you know, the going get tough, the tough get going. You know, I also want to mention that Chase Cabry is the only iRacer in this race with a mustache. That is extra
Is
power
it?
right there.
Are you sure? You positive?
He's the only one I've seen on screen so far, and I've seen his mustache in real life. I saw it at the Clash.
Production
with him and Haley.
Production team had something to say on the mustache. Who else?
Who else has a mustache?
Balloon Broom? What?
Is he in the championship for? Or she?
Oh, the nickname, the Womb Broom.
The Womb Broom. It really does.
We've got our first technical difficulties of the program, ladies and gentlemen, and that's my fault. The Womb Broom. I like that. That's a good nickname.
The Womb Broom. Yeah, that's I've never heard that before. I can say that. I can vouch for that. Here we go. Like right there. Like you look at this. All right, the focus is there. They're both focusing very intently, but when you add that mustache, the relaxedness right here out of Chase is what I'm looking at. He is relaxed. He is dialed in.
Here we go. This is the battle right here. Cabot is. See, yeah, Chase must be on older tires because Cabot caught him in a hurry. Dude, the way Cabot is sitting, his neck has got to feel some kind of sore by the end of the night. Like he's like looking diagonally up in the air almost. Oh, Chase is laughing. We're laughing right now. He just got passed.
He's probably laughing at us. Hopefully he's laughing at us. It's all right, Chase. Look, we believe you can do this, man. You have a mustache. I believe in mustache power. It comes back. But yeah, he definitely has like that P90X neck, dude. Like it's all in, bro. Like it's stiff, it's there. But I mean, hey, look what's happening. Look what's being produced here. He's got that P90X neck, dog.
He's got that fat Adam's apple going on, dude. Like that's what that looked like.
It's intense, bro.
Dude,
it's super intense.
How about
Could you imagine if they were listening to us right now and then like they laughed and like someone messed up and that would be terrible.
Maybe somebody is. Yeah, we don't want to put any bad juju on anybody. Let's go ahead and make that clear. Now, Colin Fern. We hadn't talked about him. Colin Fern used to have a mullet, from what I've been told, and he just started an Xfinity Series team. Started an Xfinity Series team. Yeah, number 96.
What's the name of this team?
It is FRS. FRS.
FRS.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what the acronym is. I think that's correct. FRS.
Production team will get back with us on that for verification, and we'll let you know. But yeah, looking at this now, I'd have to see a photo of it. Obviously, anytime mustaches or mullets are involved, we're here for it. We're going to be the ones to judge. We are the final say on who has the best mustaches or mullets in the sport of NASCAR, and that's
Production
law.
production team is asking about our Adam's apples. I used to have a prominent one, and then I gained about 50 pounds after high school, so it's kind of hard to
Mine
see.
is actually, I was a late bloomer. Didn't get pit hair until I was 16. My
Man, I
Adam's
gotta lose
apple
some weight.
just came. My Adam's apple just showed up like at 29, dude. It's there. I guess I became a man
What?
at 29. Yeah. I got skinnier is what happened, dude. I'm like, so I used to have the face of
It
like
used
if
to
I
be
ate
like,
one more cheeseburger, it was gonna
yeah,
explode.
you're like mega fat. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've really like hit my stride as a man. Like I'm getting more definition. Like I'm at that GQ level now where I'm like, 30 flirty and thriving, except I'm married and I'm not flirting, but
See, I went the
I'm
op.
30 and thriving.
I went the. Well, I'm there on the thriving part, I think, but physically I went the opposite direction. I was like 150 pounds in high school, and then now I'm like 215, real big face. I drink too much beer. Let's just be honest. I drink way too much beer. Widens the face out a lot. It's also in my genetics. My dad has a pretty prominently wide face as well. I don't know why that is, but that's the cards I was dealt with.
Maybe you should
But I
try
got to
that
lose some weight.
phase.
Straight up, I got to lose some weight, and we're starting a workout program. I think iRacing can be, it can be worked into that workout program because if I wear these goggles, this headset, Dale Earnhardt racing jacket, sit here for 4 hours, I'm gonna be sweating a lot. Like these things will
Yeah.
fog up. It happened the other night. I mean, I needed a tear off for the bubble goggles. So a lot of
Dude.
sweat, good for the Adam's apple comeback. That's what we'll
Yeah,
call it.
you can lose a lot of eye bag weight too, right there with that all that fog building up right there. I mean, you carry a lot of weight under your eyes, so I mean that's a good way to cut it down.
Oh, dude, I don't
Um,
know how. Sorry, how did I miss this? Moonhead was in here.
caution.
We got a caution. Will Rogers.
Oh,
Oh,
Will,
Will's a real NASCAR driver. I forgot he was on the entry list. No disrespect,
Will.
just we got curious. No, Will's like a hey.
He's
I know.
a real guy.
Oh, he got it. The 31. Who's the 31?
Ooh.
31 got loose.
Hitting that Tokyo drift up on him and trying to
Oh,
bring
just
it back.
kidding. Will just ran right over him.
Wow.
Will, I remember Will got. I remember his path somewhat. Didn't he beat or almost beat Kevin Harvick at a road course in a K&N race? Shit. Oh, darn it. About 6 or 7 years ago. I think Will Rogers that kind of popped up around that time and has been kind of off and on in the Xfinity series. But now he's here
wow.
and he just spun out in an iRace.
So is this our first caution of the race?
Production team.
I want to say this is the first caution.
I
This
think
is
it
the
is
first
too.
caution I've seen.
I think it is too, but I'm not for certain.
38 to go.
Yeah, here we go. So tires. We only have 4 sets of tires. I think. Oh, this is what I need to figure out. Maybe my guy Blake McCandless will help me out. I think this is their last set. I think this has got to be their last set. Has to be, right?
How many sets?
we-
So iRacing,
we get 4
obviously we have
sets.
setups. 4 sets, right?
That's not an iRacing thing. That is how they set this race up. So
Okay.
Chase, in iRacing, like you can set up to have unlimited sets of tires if you want. You can set up to have only 1 set of tires if you want. But in this race, they did 4 sets of tires. So
And is it
think,
like that in almost every event in this series?
Well, I think they try to replicate more of what the real life Xfinity series would do. I think.
Okay.
I think it's based upon production team distance, based upon distance, right? So I think the timing here, this is the last set of tires. Now, what would be interesting, and maybe what we'll find out, is if somebody stayed out, taking a big risk. Now, if they get another caution, say in 15 to 20 laps, they could have an unbelievably major advantage. It works just like a race you would see in the Xfinity Series. We've seen that exact thing happen before. I remember at Fontana last year, Anthony Alfredo almost won that race because he saved his last set of tires when everybody else pit and mowed through the field. And I think he got a top 5 in that race. But regardless, we're going to have a shootout here. 37 to go. Going to get the restart probably with 35 to go. I'm taking Adam Cabot. Let's go ahead and you're going to go with Chase, I know, because of the mustache. Looks like to me like the intensity level, Adam Cabot has just been, Adam's Apple, P90X.
P90X is a hard exercise, dude. So
Dude,
I mean, you
that's
kind
gonna
of put
pay off
words
in
in my
this-
mouth for me. I'd
That's
like
going
to
to pay
see
off in the
Chase
sim
do it.
rig. That's going to pay off in the
But-
sim rig.
Dude, like that neck, bro. I mean, I don't know, man. Like I might be with you on this because he is definitely the most conditioned.
Can we get a
driver
shot
I have
of Adam
seen.
Cabot's Adam's Apple again? Can we get a shot of that
Just
P90X neck?
a big zoom in right there.
There's no
that would
way.
be incredible.
Dude, it's gonna hurt facing up like that. It's gotta hurt facing
That's
up
like
like that.
what's
for
the
3 hours.
what's that one meme of the kid that's like, you know what
Oh,
I'm saying?
wait,
Like
yeah.
the neck veins, bro.
Yeah, but he's got
That's
that
Adam,
dude.
bro.
That dude's got veins everywhere. I know what you're talking
You're right.
about. That's a
You're right.
classic meme.
That's Hulk, bro. That's Hulk style. And yeah, I am old. I have a lot of I'm a lover of memes for sure. I have a lot of the old ones stuck in my brain. A lot, big old YouTube guy, big 08, 09 YouTube guy here. So yeah, I may not always make connections with most youngins that may be here in the chat, but I haven't even got to experience the chat. Have we had any like questions? Have we had anybody that's just having a great time? Can everyone that's watching this type the letter Y in the chat? I won't see it, but Dale will.
Why the letter Y?
Why not?
That's what you had. That's what you pick out of everything.
That's all I had. That's all I had. Yeah, that's all I had.
I
for
wonder
it.
what is the
Well,
opposite.
it's like taking attendance. It's like
What is
seeing how
the-
many people are paying attention.
Yeah, I doubt Travis is still. Moonhead is still in here, but Moonhead said Dale is an underrated iRacer, and I appreciate you. Thank
He
you. for
is.
that.
Shout
That's
out
very
to
kind.
shout out to Moonhead, dude.
Um,
Got to support the brand, support the man.
Gibby said that Fern's team will run part time, so I just saw that comment. And we're about to have a restart here. This potentially could decide the race. This restart coming to 34 laps to go. Honestly, what's
All right,
going to
here it
happen here?
is.
This is the first time we're going to have some serious action.
3, 2, 1. Shimon.
There's our flag guy waving it like crazy.
Just looking through this field right now.
Cabot got a
Ooh,
great
ooh.
restart. Oh, Chase has got an Alfredo, but he saved it.
Ooh,
Alfredo
ooh,
to
ooh.
second. Here comes Colin Fern
3
on the top.
wide.
Colin Fern on the
coming
top
here.
here, side by
little
side now
quad.
with Cabry.
Oh, I love this,
I
man.
love, and Sabali making it 4 wide right here. It's desperation time, especially if you're someone like Leighton Sabali.
That's a quad squad right there, dude.
Shieldhouse gives
That's a
him room.
quad squad if I've ever seen one.
Corey Himes up there as well.
Alfredo 1 second behind the leader. Cabry 3 seconds behind the leader.
No, Chase.
we got
that's point,
we
that's
got a
point
shot.
one.
Leader
That's
points.
0.1, 0.3, not
Point
a
one.
second. Yeah. Second would
Point.
be
Sorry,
way
Chase
farther.
math, dude. I was trying. Come on, man. I don't have a calculator by me. I'm trying to be better.
Dude, Colin Fern is racing him tight right now. Real tight.
Oh.
Corey Heim really needs. See, now Corey Heim's in a tough spot. He can't get clear of these guys. He's just gonna get slowed down and slowed down by someone like Fern, who's just on his outside. Fern's gonna get a big run here on the top. Got to slide up here. He does it. Now he'll get a good push, and maybe he can catch up to these top 3.
Cabot, what's up? So this is just a red and black car, dude. This looks like Doom, the car. The paint
it looks like
scheme
a-
there is all in.
Like a Gears of War car. I was a big Gears of War kid.
It's perfect for
That's what I
Adam.
think of. You know,
Gears of
I
War.
noticed.
Big game.
I've noticed so far Alfredo's been really good on the short run. I feel like on the short run, Alfredo's been a little bit better than everybody. But that clean air, dude, that clean air is probably super valuable right now. Dude,
Homestead.
Homestead. Yeah, that's producer guy in my ear. Sorry, I gotta get used to this.
I just said Homestead. Homestead.
Well, these guys,
We're here.
it's interesting. Everybody's kind of running the bottom right now, right? Except for a couple guys in the back. But I think if I'm in these top three, like, yeah, I'm gonna run the bottom because that'll help me manage my tires early. And we still got 30 laps to go. If this is your
Ooh.
last set of tires and you're running up
Saw-
high, oh, we got trouble.
Saw a
trouble.
little brush. I don't know how
Yeah.
far ahead or
No, we're
not.
good, we're good, we're good.
I'm watching the stream. Oh, we got a wreck. We got action. We got action, boys. Reed Wilson
66.
spinning
Reed
it
Wilson.
around. All right, here we come. We're still rolling.
No yellow.
Still
No,
green.
we're still green. Still green. See, that's good. That's good judgment. One car wreck.
I think
in
I'm
the
a little
back,
bit
don't worry
ahead
about
of
it.
you guys here. I think I might be a little bit ahead here.
I think I'm a little.
You know how rare that is for me to have good enough internet to be ahead. This is a game changer right now, dude. This is a sign of the times, bro. I got the gold. I got the 24 karat Rolex 24 chain this year. Like repping some more. Jeff Gordon got the Rainbow Warrior. You know, all in, dude. Fast internet. Here we go.
Yeah, I wonder when
dude.
everybody is going to start going to the top of the racetrack. They're kind of entering in
Looks
the
like
middle.
we've already got 2 drivers up here now.
Yeah, I mean you're gonna get more exit speed, but you're gonna use much more tire. So yeah, I understand some guys further back. I mean, why not? But if you're the leaders, like, yeah, I'd be running the bottom, managing my equipment for the long haul. That's what I've learned about iRacing. It is managing your tires is so damn important, and it is very difficult to do. Like, I've watched so many videos on trying to learn how to manage my tires, and I still cannot even get close to perfecting it. That's the difference, I feel like, from these guys and most iRacers on planet Earth, is the ability to still be fast and manage your tires. It is so damn hard
Chase
to do.
Cabrey. Chase Cabrey's got a little pec flex going on now. He's tensing. He's trying to get in the groove.
Look
See
how
that?
tight. Look how tight he is with the steering wheel, man. There's like no movement. Oh, here's Adam.
He's been working out. He's been working out with them Dale Earnhardt dumbbells you got.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he is leaned up, man. He is leaned up. Like, there's just no way his neck is gonna
There
be
we
feeling
go.
good after this.
Dude, Adam hasn't moved this entire race, dude. That dude has set still. Like, dude, I want to see the release after this race is over. I just want to see him just sink into just normal existence. Like, and what that looks like.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no clue. We'll find out. We'll find out at some point. 25
It's gonna
more
be a
laps.
moment, dude. It's gonna be a moment for sure.
I wonder if anybody's got anything for him, man. I think so Alfredo was within 2/10. Cabrey kind of gains a tenth and then loses it, gains a tenth and then loses it. So
Kind of wish his last name was Caber the Saber.
It's so easy
like
to want to say that. It's like Brett Favre, you know, except you're not stealing from poor
Favre.
people. Yeah.
It's just yeah. Shout out to the justice.
Allegedly.
system.
Allegedly. Yeah.
You see that dude's house? Allegedly.
He sued Pat Oh yeah, he lives like down the road from where I'm from.
Wait, what? He sued Pat McAfee?
He sued Pat McAfee, dude. Yeah, for defamation. Him and Shannon Sharp. Yep. I'm not trying to get sued by Brett Favre over an iRacing broadcast.
If Brett Favre is watching this right now, dude,
I would be very surprised. But like Pat McAfee said, he got sued, and on his show he said, "We made it. That's how we know we're big. We're getting sued by Brett Favre." Like, yeah. So I recommend you go watch that. It's pretty entertaining. Like his response.
I have to check it out. Shout out to Pat, great guy,
dude. Alfredo
he told me I was a legend.
He did. I remember that. You not jinxed. You had everybody fooled into thinking you were now on the Pat McAfee show.
NASCAR official.
Yeah.
Extraordinaire. Yeah. Everybody believed that. That's the crazy part.
See, all right, now Cabot has moved up a lane. Alfredo is still kind of running low and is all over him. I mean, he is on that bumper when we go into the corner.
So
But
let's go ahead.
Alfredo,
Let's go ahead and throw it out now, Dale. When do you think we see another caution, and what lap do you think it will be on?
I don't know. I think this race naturally gets so spread out, and especially once the tires wear down, like you're just going to see everybody pretty spread out. I don't know if we'll get to the point where everybody's going to be running significantly different lines because we only got 21 laps. But this is a pretty moderately high wear racetrack, so I don't think we're going to get
Alfredo
another caution.
hanging though.
I don't think we'll get another
Alfredo
caution.
1/10.
Yeah,
If you
like I
look at
said,
it as a fraction.
so what we're seeing right here is that Alfredo is focusing a lot on the entry, and Cabot is focusing more on the exit. Watch Alfredo close in right here in turn one. He's taken a little bit. Cabot has taken a little bit more softer approach into the corner to get a better exit, while Alfredo is driving a little bit deeper. And
Getting by that
Alfredo's
wall.
this is where it's interesting because Alfredo can burn his tires up a little bit more by driving harder into the corner than Cabot. So that's what I just don't understand. And in the meantime, Corey Heim is catching these guys. Corey
think he's
Heim
gonna get
is
it.
moving, and he's not having to use the top side to do it. Oh, we got a caution. I've already lost the bet. What's the caution?
Well, you never. What bet were you talking about? We never.
Well, you were about to say, like, do you think there's gonna be another caution? And I was like, no. And then I got carried away.
Am
talking
I
about the race.
behind? Oh, yeah, I'm behind now. Then you had to make sure your internet was faster. You were like, no sir, no
Oh,
says I.
Colin Fern just dumped.
Look
Oh
at
my,
you.
dude, Colin Fern just dumped the 98. Oh,
How many
a couple
times
guys
did you
got
click
collected.
refresh after I said my internet was faster, Dale?
I didn't. I just pulled it up on Twitch. All I did was
Oh.
pull it up on Twitch, and it's a little bit quicker than. Yeah, a little bit of YouTube delay. Yeah,
All
production
right,
team
so I know-
slacking,
I know-
guys.
I know where we're going.
Yeah, if you pull it up on Twitch, Podium 2. If you pull it up on Twitch, I think it's a little bit faster. Dude,
We
Colin
go.
Fern literally just shoved him into the corner and did not get off of him. That's some
Playing
beef.
their games.
That is
saying
some
their
beef.
names.
Okay, well, we just found out that they have one more set of tires because everybody's pitting. I did once again. You have Chase math that was wrong, and now you have Dale math that was wrong. So they do have one more set. Here it is right now. Leighton Sybil. Leighton Sybil.
I wanted to say Sybil.
I think that's just what I'm gonna say. It's easier. That and people in Mississippi would say Sybil. Okay,
Mhm.
Sybil.
I know a man named Sybil.
His
My
first
mother
name
told me
is
to call him
Sybil?
Uncle. Yeah, his first name is Sybil. Swear to
His
God.
first name's Sybil.
I called him Syllable once, and he corrected me.
Yeah, you know what? We're from Mississippi and Louisiana. I'm not even surprised when I hear stories like that. But here's
Forgive
the
us
deal.
or don't.
Leighton Sybil stayed out right there. So I'm guessing he's got another set of tires. He's taking a gamble here. You did only have about 15 guys on the lead lap, but now what's happening is all these guys that were a lap down are taking the wave around. So this is a massive gamble. This is a massive gamble, but he's realized he's not going to be able to outrun these guys on speed, I think. So this will be fun. This will be fun to see what happens.
I'm excited about it. I'm getting double streams. Like how many streams would it take? I'm not even gonna say that. We don't want to crash. I don't know. I can't crash.
No crashing.
I can't crash my computer. It's a Mac. It does pretty well.
No
I
crashing.
got a lot of RAM.
Yeah. I
I downloaded more RAM. I bought the CD, like the AOL discs back. They send you RAM like that now. It was on a floppy. I found
There
it.
you go. There you go.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to map everything out like I would a normal race. And that dude, iRacing is so amazing because like the finishes almost are identical with how strategy works out to real life racing we see, especially in the Xfinity series. So Sybil, only guy to stay out right here. And if a caution comes out, he needs this to go green for about, I'd say 8 to 10 laps, because he's not going to get a big enough advantage. Even if it does go 8 to 10 laps, I feel like he's not going to have a big enough advantage But all these guys that just took the wave around to get back on the lead lap will also pit if a caution comes out. So he won't lose. I think he would restart maybe 15th to 18th. But man, it's just so late. It's so late for it to happen. Like, can it work? I don't know.
I want to go in here and
do it. It's
say
his only
shout out
chance.
to Ronnie Osmer, Louisiana's own, top 10 currently right now. He may not be in the running for a championship here, but always good to see. Shout out to the boot, the boys from the boot.
Hey, good insight. Okay, I don't want to interrupt you. Sorry.
It's
Are you
okay.
done? Louisiana sucks. Anyway.
Yeah, get out. Yeah, I'm in Mississippi. What can I say? You got my hands tied.
There you go. There you go. Point proven.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Our guy Gibby in here in the chat has said, as we were talking about that last green flag run, he was watching Gibby was watching Anthony Alfredo's stream while watching ours, and Anthony Alfredo was saving his tires while he was still gaining. That's what he was saying. So interesting insight right there. Now, it's not going to matter near as much here because we got a 15-lap shootout. But here we go. Here we go. Pace car's off.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
I want to see what Sabelli can do here. Big jump. Big jump for Sabelli. Oh, here comes Cabri.
You're like that guy that ruins games for people right now.
That's not
I'm trying
my
to
fault
catch up
that you
to
have.
the stream.
It's not my fault that
It's
you have
not me. It's
and
not
we got
my
a
fault.
big crash in turn 3 or turn 2. 5, 6, 8, maybe 9, 10 cars involved in this one.
You're that guy.
What do you want me to do? I'm broadcasting. I am broadcasting the event. That is what I'm gonna do.
I've got to go.
This
to
is
Twitch
clutch
now.
time
I'm gonna get
moments.
off of YouTube.
That's your fault. It's your fault. All the people. Or wait, hold on. So am I ruining it for everybody watching the stream?
Yeah, you are. Yeah. Thanks, man. Appreciate you, Dale. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah. He's going to get the fraud center. The fraud center poster now. God. Yeah. No, we got our producer. He said he feels like he needs to do something. You should take care of this. Dale's internet is blazing fast. He's got the bubbles on. He's going faster than all of us. We got to catch up, man.
Turning the Twitch stream off, okay? We're turning the Twitch stream off, and we're watching we're getting the YouTube delay. Sorry, everybody. Rusty Walrus. Yeah. Hey, I'm sorry, Rusty. I'm sorry. You know what?
Everybody's crying. Like, it's just terrible time.
Hey, Rusty.
Man.
Good to see you.
Shout out to Rusty. I love that, man. Whose hood are we looking at right now? This purple and green and pink.
So that's actually Presley Soares. He's not in the Skybox scheme unless Skybox is a logo. But that's that Shaq eye gear stuff. Oh, what a view.
God.
Yeah, of course,
Dude,
Eagles
so
car.
Real. I love this stuff.
That is a massive crash.
Yeah. Let's go ahead real quick. I just want to make sure everybody knows where to follow us collectively. At Garage Guys Racing, Instagram, TikTok, and then at Garage Guys FS on Twitter. We're working on that. You can follow me at Garage Guy Chase everywhere on social media, and then Dale is at Dale Tanhart. We try to keep it simple for everybody, don't we, Dale?
Yeah, except for the Garage Guys part. We're gonna have to pay like $1 million to get the Garage Guys Racing handle over on Twitter, but you know, it is what it is at this point. But yeah, at Dale Tanhart on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and then check out our podcast on any of your favorite podcasting platforms. That is the Garage Guys NASCAR podcast, and then over on YouTube is where you can watch us and listen to us at the same time. Same thing, Garage Guys NASCAR podcast. We're gonna have a lot of different driver interviews coming out throughout the season to go with our NASCAR betting advice in 2023. So, there's our plugs. Shout out to the production team for reminding us to give our plugs on this broadcast.
Yeah, first broadcast. So it's been a great time. I don't think that I would have wanted to do this with anyone else, and especially having our production crew guy here to help us here. This is a great thing, and I hope that we definitely continue because I think this is Dale and I both. You know, we're just young boys with a dream of doing things like this.
Well, you're like 35. You're not. You're pretty old.
An old man with a dream. You know,
There you go.
I had dreams once. Wrong
Dude,
kid died.
we need to find a name next time for production guy. Just like
Yeah.
say, and it can't be his real name. It just needs like, Mr. Bojangles. Mr. Bojangles. Okay,
Let's
that
call
was
him
a recommendation
PG.
from the production guy himself,
I like
production team.
PG. Shout out to
Team
PG.
Team Bojangles. Team Bojangles. There you go. How about that? Team Bojangles on the line just said that just confirmed to me that Adam Cabot does have a neck injury from staring up at the
Oh.
screen.
Yeah, very true.
I just made that
Very
up.
true.
I just made that up.
No. I mean, you could have fooled me.
That was a test run. That was a test run. But okay, look, this is so we were talking about the tire situation. I do want to talk about the race that is happening. Sabile, Leighton Sybil just pitted after all these cars have been wiped out from that big wreck, or at least have suffered probably pretty major damage. So now he's going to have 5 to 8 lap pressure tires. And where is he going to restart? That's what I'm waiting to see here once we get the leaderboard back up. But I was wrong about the caution thing, Chase. I think the way these guys are driving, it's going to be pure craziness. It's going to be
Yeah, it's about to
craziness.
get messy out there. I feel like you have to kind of expect that, especially in a championship, man. It's all or nothing, dude. I mean, it's like this is the last time you're going to get to do this, and if you're in a position to take that win, you got to take it. And some of these other guys, they're trying to just get as much position as possible. It's going to make things happen.
Yeah, everybody
Homestead's one
wants
of these tracks
It's just
where
still
you see normal, but
it's still a points championship. All these other guys that aren't in the championship for are trying to get their best finish to get their best result in the point standings. And hell, you never know. You position yourself in the right spot. All these guys wad up. Now you're contending for a race win. So very interesting dynamic. And now Corey Heim has been sneaky. Now I didn't even see him pass the 39, but he did. Now he's going to line up third as the pace car comes off.
ooh.
Oh, wait, Sabelli did not pit. Ignore everything I just said. Sabelli's still out there. These cautions kind of help him.
Shimon.
Green flag's
And
out.
we're off.
I try to be a Larry McReynolds strategist, and I'm like, not even close.
You need to get a tire. You need to get a tire, dude.
And Cabot has fallen is fifth, sixth. What happened to Adam Cabot?
Can we get a shot? Did he relax?
Here comes Corey Heim.
Oh, man.
Heim to the inside. Cavery has cleared for third. Oh, Alfredo's going to battle back. Now Adam Cabot's on the top side. Corey Heim easily has taken the lead. Easily passes Sabelli.
God, you know Adam Cabot is going to
Sybil.
just – this has to just be the worst thing right now.
I know. What happened? He must have just not been in the best position. And he's going 3 wide. Now, you see the difference in the tires there between him and the 25.
Okay, don't call it a comeback.
If this stays green, and it doesn't, caution is out. What happened?
Oh,
Alfredo's getting... Somebody up front just got spun. I think the 33 just got turned. Maybe he saved it. After the caution, I think the 33 may have just gotten turned. We need to take a look, but see, that's when it gets. These guys in the back are I think being a little too crazy.
Dude, they got resumes to update.
That was on either the 12 or the 98. That collects 3 or 4 guys, and I think Presley Soares' night is done after that hit.
Caution out, 8 to go.
You're gonna get a restart with about 5 to go. See, now if you're the 25, you got to pit and take those tires if you have them. I'm assuming he's got that extra set.
All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and go with it right now.
I wish the Bojangles team could confirm with me if he has an extra set of tires, but maybe we don't have that information. Bojangles team does not have the information.
I'm going to go ahead and pull out a Garage
Pit
Guys
stops.
NFT.
And he's got a lot of guys coming down behind him. That's important. Very important. Yep,
We're going to pray for good stops.
Oh, he's got the I didn't even realize it. Leighton's got the VR set. That's cool. There we go. Okay, now where will he line up? Where will he line up? So Hive's going to be the leader. Alfredo, I guess I'm just seeing things from my Dale goggles. did not get spun out. He is going to line up second. Chase will be third, and then Cabot will be fourth. Shit, man. This is anybody's race. So yeah, let's see.
I'm gonna go ahead and put all the energy on Chase Caber here, just mustache energy. You just got to put that out there. You were right, Dale. I'm gonna go ahead and back the man.
Well, yeah, I'm looking. I had Cabot, and he's in the worst spot right now.
We're gonna give him Jeff Gordon down the escalator energy, right here with this Garage Guys, this one of one Garage Guys NFT.
What does that even mean?
They're not for computers, but it basically it's this is a shopping mall from 2002. Jeff Gordon, going down the escalator. So I mean, obviously escalators are faster than walking.
Well, that was
so
my
imagine
question.
a
What
race
is...
car going down an escalator, extra speed.
That would be scary. That would be very
Could you imagine being in a shopping mall, like you're like a kid, like you're coming out of like the KB's toys or something, and then all of a sudden you're just like, look, Mom, there's a race car, and then like 8,000 people just get ran over inside of a mall, and they go park at the food court. Man, I'm hungry. Yeah. Hey, it's Jeff Gordon.
Did you ever have during the NASCAR boom, did you ever have a NASCAR come to your shopping mall, your local shopping mall?
Did they have one at Turtle Creek?
Bojangles team said yes. Yes, they did. They had multiple times.
Who? I used to go to Turtle Creek like every other weekend with my grandma.
So back in Bojangles team, what'd you say?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really? Interesting. The Pepsi challenge. See, mine was in South Mississippi. Turtle Creek Mall is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Ryan Newman's car was there because they did like, yes, it was the Altel. It was a Dodge Charger in 2000, and it was late 2005. They did like a Talladega sweepstakes, and there was an Altel shop like right down the road. They had the 12 car at the Altel shop, and then they brought like the next day or 2 days later, they brought it to Turtle Creek Mall and did that little sweepstakes thing. And I still have a little Ryan Newman hero card thing from that. So I remember that one, but there were other times that there were cars there. I just don't remember what cars, who the driver was. But in 2000, they had Dale Jr.'s car at Walmart, and I was like 3 years old, and I took a picture with it, and it was like a feeding frenzy out in this Walmart parking lot. It was scary how many people were there. So yeah, I remember those two. But
yeah, I don't remember. I don't think I can remember the car. I remember the car itself, but like, dude, I feel like I would have definitely remembered being a kid seeing like a NASCAR at that mall. Like most of the time it was, visiting there, going to get shoes, or in the later years, I was the guy that went to Hot Topic for band tees.
See,
So
most of the time, 99% of the time I went to Turtle Creek was going to GameStop. I was the kid that went for like the midnight releases of like Modern Warfare 2, Gears of War 3, Halo 4. Yeah, those are the days. It was
Chase
anyway.
Cabre looks like he's about to go to GameStop.
Here we go.
Yeah,
big push.
Bump.
I think Sybil, the number 25 is restarting around 18th.
Oh
no! Cabre's out of it. Alfredo's out of it. They saved it, no caution. Where's Sebale? Oh, big wreck. Alfredo's in it.
Big boy wreck.
Who else is in it? This is huge for the 25 team if he wasn't in it. I see there's a 25. I think he's got damage. Or was that him? No, that was Gary Sexton. That was the Eagles car. Where is Sebile? Where's the 25 car? Was he in it? Chase Cabre made it out, but he lost. Shit. 50.
Oh yeah, he's back on.
Darn it. Whoops.
Oh darn. Oh darnell.
Yeah. We said we'd be unprofessional, and sorry, it came out a little bit here at the end. Now,
damn it to hell.
Replay here.
I told you. PG remembers.
Damn, Alfredo. It looked like Alfredo cleared himself.
Oh,
Sebale made it. Sebale made it to the wreck.
Hard hit.
Sebale.
Oh.
And someone's in the catch fence. Was that the 29?
That wasn't. No, Cabre's 39.
I've been in the catch fence before. It's not a fun thing. You're just like hanging there, and you're like, wow. You can't get out of it. Yeah, you just reset and you're done, basically. Boom.
Bam.
Yep. That happens a lot, which he would have been screwed anyway because he would have had a lot of damage.
Well, at least he quickly got out of there. So let's keep looking here. See who else we may have missed.
We need to see where Leighton Sabile is. That's the kicker here. Does he have enough fresh tire and time to have a chance at this? It's going to be a green-white checkered, so I don't think so.
Wow.
But
What a race, huh? Come down to the wire. Like, you're sitting here thinking, like, we talk about Homestead. It's just one of those races where, like, people just can win by a mile. And then,
I
so
think
it's
I see
always
Sabile.
super exciting to see these races come down to this. Yeah.
The last Monday night race,
All the
actually, the last Monday night race last week went caution-free.
Last race of the year, Dale. Can't hold anything back now.
You cannot. So Sabile is going to line up 10th. I'm probably going to need some more help. But right now, it's Corey Heim versus Cabot, both in the front row.
And don't count out David Schildhouse sitting in third. One of the flashiest setups in the game tonight. Got great collar action going on. If we get another shot of old Schildy popping up here soon, you'll see what I'm talking about with those collars. Got the nice orange lapels rolling down. So I mean, those lapels mean business.
Hey,
But
shout out to
there
he is, yeah.
There he is, the man himself.
Big Alpha Prime guy, huh?
Oh yeah. He's feeling it right now. He's in the moment. He knows he's sitting third. He knows he's sitting somewhere where he could get up front. He makes the right moves. He can make something happen here.
This is one of those tough spots. It's like, do you get in here and mix it up with the two guys running for the championship? Like, I'm sure there's going to be some scrutiny towards Alfredo for and I didn't pay enough attention to the replay, but what it looked like is that he kind of cleared himself, and that took out a championship contender from winning this race or the Monday Night Racing Championship. So if you're Schildhouse, you're saying maybe I let these guys race and take a P3.
Schildy didn't flatten them collars out to play it safe in this race, dude. I'm just gonna say that much right now, dude.
But he's ready. I feel like he's a very respectful iRacer on here.
He is.
Maybe I'm wrong.
He's a respectful man too. Very respectful guy.
Hey, shout out to George Balfans. I've raced with him a bunch, and he's running P7 right now. Good for him.
Look out,
I raced with Max Kinnon a little bit. Robbie Lyons Vargas, sitting in 8.
Top 5.
Dude, there's
I just
want to
call
taking
our man in 4th. Just want to call him Terry Turner right now, dude. That's what I want to call him.
He's got the 5 car. Yeah,
he does.
All right,
green next time.
Oh, I need to confirm how many green-white checkers we do. Let's see. 3 green-white checkers if necessary.
Okay.
White flag, next flag ends it. Or I guess white flag, you're not going to throw the caution.
Do we make it there? That's the question. Can we make it there? I'd love to see us make it there.
Dude, based on what we've seen, probably not. Which it continues to help Leighton in the number 25 car if we keep getting these cautions. But he's got the fresh tires, but he needs to jump a couple spots before the caution comes out to put him in a better spot to win. He's been like Leighton's been like the winner go home guy that has like had these big clutch performances at the right time. I remember he was on the outside looking in at Daytona to get into the playoffs, and he won that race and got in, and now here we are. Who knows what's going to happen? Here we go.
All right.
2 to go. Man, Corey Heim got a great jump.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, they're already beating and banging back there. Cabot needs to clear second. Not going to do it. Not here, at least.
Oh, and he falls back.
That might have been some net code. It's Corey Heim's race now, unless we crash.
Dang, you hate to see that for Adam. All the focus, all the intensity throughout the race. Wait, he's picking up. It's not over yet. Heim, this just played right in his hand, man. Played right in Corey Heim's hand. Up, here we go.
Oh, yeah. I don't see anybody getting to him.
Do we have anything thinking that that was, what's funny is this man started this race with a penalty,
He did. Went
came
to dead
back through the
last.
field, and now he's here. This was DW's pick to win the race. Another big dub for D-Dub. It's looking like so far right here.
Here you go.
Pretty
Off of
much
turn
cleared
4.
in.
The Monday Night Racing Championship goes to Corey Heim, NASCAR Truck Series potential phenom and now solidified iRacing phenom, Monday Night Racing Champion, Corey Heim. That's a good-looking race car, too. A little dirty, a little banged up.
Love the green and the
Got it
red
done.
and the blue, man.
Man.
It's got a real Nerf gun look to it.
Yeah.
It's kind of nerfy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
yeah.
that.
I kind of like that too. Well, man, that's dude. You know Adam Cabot and his P90X neck, dude. They're hurting.
He may actually look like the kid from the meme now. The neck veins. It's possible. I feel like we need to talk to him. We need to clear some things up in case he's heard this.
Yeah. You need to have. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want to talk after that probably, which is understandable. That sucks. I thought Cabot had it. Corey Heim just kind of hung around, snuck around, and took advantage of the moment.
A sign of things to come, maybe, Dale. What I know we've talked a little bit about some of the upcoming truck races, some eyes on Dale Center that we've even thrown out about him. So you make sure you're tuning into that, each week moving forward, because we're going to be talking about Corey Heim a lot.
Yeah, the Tricon Garage truck, still like the craziest. Well, maybe Legacy Motor Club is a little, maybe not crazy is the right term. Just feels like everything is like I think of Tricon Garage and I think of like Tron, like the super fast little blue light cars, like Austin Cindric's paint scheme at the Clash. When I hear Tricon Garage, that's what I think of.
Yeah, the Freightliner. What a paint scheme for Freightliner, right? Like, where did they come up with that? I've never seen an 18-wheeler that looked like it was coming out of a video game.
That would be sick.
In my life.
That would be sick. Yeah,
it would be dope.
It is a good paint scheme. Well, Corey Heim, man, how about it? Which he's the only actual. Well, hold on. I don't want to eat my words here. I think Chase has actually raced in some competitive series in real life, and I don't know enough about Adam and Leighton to know if they do as well. But NASCAR National Series race car drivers, Corey Heim was the one guy. That was the one guy that Darrell Waltrip knew because he is in the Truck Series and he got it done. Is there any correlation? Probably not. I think he's just really good at iRacing. But
yeah,
Adam Cabot, man, it hurts. I feel like he had it.
It does, and with Chase too, with Chase KB, all these guys just stand up job. The race was very clean up until the end, and I mean that's just. I feel like it is pretty normal to see those kind of things. So, like you said, when you're fighting for the championship on the line, you got to make the moves. You got to do what you got to do, and sometimes it doesn't always work out in your favor. Sometimes it does, but at the end of the day, somebody's gonna go home with the trophy. Corey Heim starting out, ending one season with a trophy. Starting out another season. I am excited to see him run more this season, man. I really am. I remember he won Atlanta, did he not, with Kyle Busch Motorsports last year when we went. It was the first. So he is the first Truck Series driver to win on the new configuration of Atlanta. So that's a stat to throw out there.
It's just a mini Daytona, but yeah, I mean
Daytona's coming up.
That could serve him well in the opening race, but that Truck Series field is stacked, dude. You got Chase Elliott, you got Corey LaJoy, Travis Pastrana, and then all the good truckers like Zane Smith, Ben Rhodes.
Is Travis running? I know he's running Cup, so he's running truck too.
He's running trucks too. Yep.
Wow.
I think the entry list for trucks is like 42 for 36 spots, something like that. So
Travi P, that man himself. And this has been fun. This has been good. Do we have anybody else in the chat? Any questions?
Got a lot of good ads on here.
Yeah.
A lot of good ads.
Yeah.
Interstate Batteries.
Frontstretch.com.
Damn.
Don't forget about GridRival. GridRival, the sponsor of the entire event. Shout at them.
Yeah, I can't wait to enter that Grid Rival Fantasy, like that season long thing we talked about at the beginning of the show. I tweeted like I'm for sure entering this, and then I went to enter it and realized they're not in Mississippi yet. So we gotta, on the way to Daytona, we gotta do it. Get in there.
Shout out to our guy Jonathan Yazerski on Twitter, just reading this off. Shout out to Garage Guy Chase Dale Tanhart. The DW sit down during the iRacing Monday night Xfinity race was incredible. Looking forward to more content in the future from you guys and Darrell Waltrip. Had a great time sitting on the couch just listening with my dad. That's everything right there, man. I know you and I both. I know you maybe a little more than me can feel the bond with the sport with your dad. That's huge.
Would not have happened without Monday Night Racing here on Podium 2. So
all
yeah,
the great people involved.
Here's the final race results. So Leighton was able to get up to 6th. That was still his best shot to win, I think. And Cavett 3rd. Chase Cabry 10th. You know what? One guy we hadn't talked about. Where's Raja Cruz? What happened to him? He was in the event. We never even talked about it. Never saw him.
He was on the list. He was definitely on the list. But yeah, I did not see him pop up here.
I want to see it. Yeah, well,
PG?
I at least want to see where he may have finished. Preston Part is that? Yeah, that's Preston Partis. Good road course racer. Wait, I think it is.
Got Belfons with the top 10, Vargas with the top 10, Schilde in P2. Man, tough blow for Chase Cabry there, going back to 10th. We get it, it happens, I understand, but man, tough. And I guess Ronnie got caught up. Ronnie Osmer. Trying to look here now. Yeah, he finished back in 32nd. Trying to Matt Stalkenek finished 21st. Hate that for him.
Stalkenek?
He was running. Yeah, I say it. You say Sybil.
I said every possible variation of Leighton's name. Let's just be clear.
Matt,
I said all.
Stalkenek. There's a lot of different ways. I call him Matt.
Matt's gonna be. I hope Matt's offended by you screwing up his last name.
I think the first time I ever met him, I called him Stalkenek.
Stalkenek.
I think that's the only way I've ever said that.
If you don't know him, I get it. If you don't know him, I get it. Well, it's okay. People,
you hang out with him a lot more. Y'all I race together, so I talk to him occasionally.
We've done a couple. Man, Blake McCandless, what a stud.
No tie. That's what I'm talking about.
I was noticing that earlier.
Full button with no tie, dude. Like that's a move, dude. That's bold. That's bold in your stance.
Corey Heim trying to be like Joey Logano or Kevin Harvick with the glasses on, huh?
He kind of looks like him low key. I mean, he's got his hair styled up, like Joey's new hair.
Well, all he's got to do is start going bald, and he'll be just like Kevin Harvick or Joey Logano. Well, Joey's got the
past that.
Well, I think Joey's got the full head of hair again, and honestly,
yeah.
looks kind of weird. It looks kind of weird.
Really fun race tonight.
Drinking her.
What?
PG production team. Hey, the Bojangles team chiming in. A lot of laughter, dude. Yeah, I mean, Joey's got to deal with a hair club thing, and I wonder I wonder if it's not like a toupee. It's not like, I think it's like hair reconstruction, isn't it?
I learned about it. Okay, so check this out. So obviously, I'm definitely in line. Okay, hair's falling out.
There you go.
Okay. So look, so here's the deal. Like I have no shame in it anymore. I let it be. I had long hair for a minute, and finally I said, you know what, it's time to grow up. You're losing your hair. Get over it. So I was talking with the person that cuts my hair the other day, and they're like, it's crazy, man. You go in there, they'll go like behind on the back parts of your head, right in here. You never will lose hair on that. Scientific fact. You will never lose this hair that wraps around the back of your head. So what they do is they will go take some of that hair from the back, and they will insert follicles into the area where you need it most on the crown and in the front here where the bangs will go. Not only do they do that, they also will cut and take some skin and pull it up. So not only do you get brand new hair, but you also get kind of a weird form of Botox. throughout this thing. So you get like the Botox for men. I don't even know if that's just a female thing or not. I've never done Botox. Never had to. The time's probably coming. You know, I'd probably get ear Botox,
I
maybe.
hope
Who
I
knows?
hope I don't ever have to contribute to that
I'm
conversation.
never gonna do that. I'm never gonna do that. I'm gonna age gracefully, and I'm gonna roll my way out. I mean, I'm a sexy
Dude,
man, and I know it.
look, man,
So
Larry David is. Oh, Adam's here. Adam's talking. He doesn't seem upset.
he's all
Doesn't
right.
seem upset. Okay. Adam
He's
is
so
sweet.
relaxed, dude. So crazy to see him relaxed.
He's kind of got crazy eyes, doesn't he?
I mean, dude, he's been staring at a screen for like an hour and a half, dude. You wear bubbles, bro. You got protection.
Shit,
And
more like 2.5 hours.
this man was raw dogging the screen with his eyes, dude. Like he
Hey,
didn't have protection.
yeah, that's true. No Corey Hunt. Maybe that was the difference. Maybe the glasses. Maybe the glasses. You know, Joey Logano won the championship last year with glasses. Now Corey Haim wins the championship with glasses. Maybe we invest in some blue light glasses for Adam.
I think you need to sell blue light goggles. Dale Tanhart branded blue light iRacing goggles. Like you already have them on.
That's
Might as
true.
well go ahead and throw the the GGDT on it, whatever you want, and then just get
We
that
can do
out to
it.
the masses right there.
We can do it like Talladega Nights, where you just put the GG right in the middle of it, like blocking your vision. You know, like when he does the
I sure love Garage Guys, but it's not Fig
what is
Newton.
the Fig Newton? Yeah, when he puts Fig
Yeah.
Newton, yeah, we'll just put
Yeah.
GG right in the middle, like so you block your
We'll,
visibility.
we'll pray about it.
There you go,
Pray about
little
it.
baby Jesus.
Did you ever find that Powerade jacket, by the way? I know you used to tell me you
No.
wanted it so bad.
There's scammers. So yeah, we've talked about this. The Powerade jacket that Ricky Bobby wears in Talladega Nights is like the sickest, freshest racing jacket I've ever seen. And it doesn't exist. It just does not exist. And when I look it up, I'll find like scammers that like take a picture of it and they're like, "Yeah, we have it for $180." And it's like a website that has like zero credibility. And yeah, I wish it existed. I want that Powerade Ricky Bobby jacket
exists.
so bad. It's in
We
Will
just have
Ferrell's
to make
closet,
friends
probably.
with Will Ferrell. We got to make
Yeah.
friends with Will Ferrell and convince him to sell it to you.
DW likes Will Ferrell. Maybe he'll respond to DW.
Yeah, they're good friends. It's gonna happen. I mean, I feel like we're at a point now. Will Ferrell, we'll get to hang out with him at some point. We'll talk to him about it. I feel like
doubt
I
it,
can
but
make
I'll
a
never say
compelling
no.
argument. Yeah.
I don't. I think Will Ferrell's. I don't know how he feels about NASCAR.
I'll arbitrate that for you. We'll go to his house and be like, "Oh, is this your closet? Oh, this cool Powerade jacket, man. You ever wear it? No, man. I know somebody that would love this jacket.
Please, yeah.
Kind of guilt
please,
trip him a
can I
little
wear it?
bit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm down
I'll
for
do that
that.
for you. Yeah,
I'm super down for that.
I love it. You know what
I
else
don't
love?
because I wish I had the jacket.
No, we're gonna find a way to get it. But yeah, I'm hungry, bro.
Dude, yeah, I'm sad because Darrell Waltrip's
I didn't
probably
get to
already.
eat. He's
DW's
asleep
already
now.
had a great dinner. Yeah, DW's already had a feast.
We
An
gotta figure
absolute
out what he
feast.
had.
Yeah, next time we'll be like, "Hey, what'd you have on the night of the Monday Night Racing Championship?" And he'll be
You
like,
get a whole story about it.
he said he could smell it. Spaghetti? For some
I can
reason, I
smell it.
feel like spaghetti. I feel like it's going to be spaghetti with some
Spaghetti
garlic
household.
bread. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
You know,
Like,
Franklin.
like,
He lives in Franklin. That's like right
Mhm.
outside of Nashville. Franklin is a cool area. Franklin's super
It
nice.
is. You know the history of Franklin, right?
No.
So actually, the reason it's called Franklin, very simple. You can probably
Franklin
put two and two
Roosevelt?
together. Nope.
Franklin from
His
the
name is
what was
Ben
that?
Franklin. His name was Ben Franklin.
What was
He's on
Franklin?
the
You remember the kids cartoon? There was a
the turtle.
Franklin. That was my next
The
guess.
turtle.
That was my next guess. Yeah, the turtle kid. Yeah.
That was based off him. That was
Damn.
about that turtle, dude. Great turtle. He wore a red backpack. Shout out to Franklin. He's a great guy. I used to watch Franklin, dude. I'm gonna go watch Blue's Clues, Gullah Gullah Island with the boys. You know,
Yeah, I
had a good time in
see.
second grade.
I was a Teletubbies, Blues Clues kid, man.
Yeah.
I went back,
Were you
you know.
Steve or Joe?
Oh, Steve. Are you kidding me? What are we talking about here? What are we? That's a terrible question.
Yeah. I needed to know. Blue or magenta, you know? Where
No.
would you go? I quit after magenta. When magenta showed up, I was out, dude.
I remember watching a little bit of Magenta. I feel like I was still watching some, but you know, I went back not even last week, and watched an episode of the Teletubbies just randomly. I just wanted to remember what it was like.
It's like the
And
wildest thing.
It's
How
the
was it?
worst. It's the worst thing ever, dude. I don't like. I had to have been an
Maybe under the
infant.
influence of something, right? To do
Well, an infant or less than 4 years old for sure. I just always remember in my head. I was sitting in my bed and I was like, just randomly thinking about the Teletubbies, which is very weird. I
What
know. I was
When
just
was
like,
this? I feel like I should have called you and checked
dude, it
on
was
you. Like,
last
you all
week.
right?
It was last week. I was sitting in bed and I was like thinking about kid shows like Teletubbies. Like, I remember like this vacuum thing that would just flail
Oh,
around.
dude.
And then I was like, I gotta remember if that was real. I gotta remember if that was a real thing, like this vacuum thing and like pudding or I don't know. And I went back and the vacuum thing was real. It was very real. It was like a vacuum thing that like would scare them away and it would like it would clean up stuff like a vacuum would do, but it had eyes. It had
It
eyes
had
on it.
eyes and it had the nose. It was like the
Yeah.
thing that pulled out. And the reason I know this, so
And it would
I was a
scare
little bit
the
older.
hell out of the Teletubbies.
I never watched Teletubbies, but I was a obese child. I used to go to Burger King like every day, so I always would be like, "What's the new BK toys?" And I'll never forget the time that they had Teletubbies toys, and I was pissed. I was like, "I don't
Wow.
even want to eat here." And I remember the vacuum, and they also had custard. They had like different flavored custard and I was just like, dude, Burger King was dead to me for like a month, dude.
Dude,
I was
I
out.
still have the Mario toys that Wendy's did one year in my
Oh,
closet. They
I
did like a
remember
whole set
those.
of Mario toys, and every day I would ask my parents to take me to Wendy's so I could get the Mario Kart one. And finally, I got that specific one in my kids' meal with my chicken nuggets, and it's still sitting in my closet. I
They
loved
don't do
those Mario
toys.
toys.
They don't do toys for kids anymore. Like I take my kid to go to like Chick-fil-A
Does
or like
McDonald's does, don't they? Doesn't McDonald's?
McDonald's, but we don't really eat. But see, I think that's different. Like the generation shift, right? Like I don't really eat McDonald's. Like my kid and like I'm sure your kid will be the same way. Like Chick-fil-A kid, like Raising Cane's. Like we're big like chicken eaters, you know.
I
So
think
it's like that, but
McDonald's
like
you can get like they probably give out like Travis Scott dolls or something at
yeah,
McDonald's.
something
Or
like that.
like Cardi B dolls or something.
Mhm. They for a long time they got out of touch and it was just Barbie or Hot Wheels. That's
Yeah,
all
that's
you
right.
had.
Yeah, we're at least caught up with the times. Yeah,
Right.
I never
You
eat
know.
McDonald's.
Best toys, hands down. I will say this, completely unrelated to racing. That NASCAR racer toys
Oh
were
yeah,
at
like
Burger King
this whole
once.
conversation hasn't been unrelated to racing.
Oh yeah. This
Literally
is
the
a
whole
big racing
conversation.
convo, dude.
They're
This
interviewing
matters.
Leighton right now, and we're talking about Teletubbies
Burger King toys. Yeah.
and Burger King toys.
Pokemon at Burger King will never be beaten. That was a time to be alive right there.
See, we
The
never ate Burger King.
gold-plated cards. That's all we had in my town. It was a Burger King. Then they built like a Wendy's and a McDonald's. It was just Burger King. It was there. But yeah,
We never
the
ate Burger King.
Pokemon, dude. Wow. Wild Wild West toys too. Just randomly thought about that 2 weeks ago when we were at the Rolex.
I'm wondering if we're still on the air right now. Are we still live?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're live, dude.
Bojangles team says we're live. We're still live. Yeah, this whatever. Yeah, our production team's like
I think
falling
it's-
asleep right now.
Yeah, I think
like,
it's fun,
dude, I
dude. This has
can't.
been a great conversation.
Oh, they
Oh,
gave out
man.
our. Whoever has my social security, go ahead, spend it up. Spend it up.
You
Just
can
spend
keep
it-
my Social Security if you file my taxes for me this year.
Spend all.
Do a good
Spend
job.
my all. Just please spend like half my credit limit at Hooters and use promo code Garage Guys. How about that?
Amen, dude. Hell yeah.
On behalf of the chat watching, thank you for giving us something to talk about for the first 170, 160 laps of this race.
Ah,
And,
that's critical mistake.
Championship for parents of a
Oh.
great season.
Social Security's out.
You could have kept that one to yourself.
Bojangles team's telling us some really sad news right now that you guys don't want to hear. Very sad news.
Oh man, that's a rough one. That's a rough one. You see what we do to our interns, huh?
Yeah, we've fired at least 600 interns on the Garage
Yeah,
Guys side.
dude.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's all right. We'll forgive
If
you
only I
people.
had a say in the Monday Night Racing crew, you know.
Yeah, right.
The Bojangles
I think
team
I
would then
think
be the
I think this
would
is
be
a
the Hooters
good
team.
this is a good Yeah, this is a good chance. This is a good spot to wrap it up. I'm going to eat. This has been fun. Again, you know where to follow us. Follow us at Garage Guys FS. I'm at Garage Guy Chase. He is at Dale Tanhart. And thank you so much for tuning in to the stream. We hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to follow us and listen to our podcast and eat at Hooters.
And special thanks to Podium 2 and everybody at Monday Night Racing for allowing us to do this. We had an awesome time, and we hope you did as well. Of course, special thanks to Darrell Waltrip for hopping on and chatting with us. That was amazing, and had an amazing race here as well on Monday Night Racing Championship. And thank you all, and we will see you guys in the fall. Well, I get